There are so many people, as you know, the way our culture is, it's always been this way, but it's become so much more so. So many people would give everything they have, they'd sell their soul to the devil to have any section of your career. You know, the first section of your career, they would take any part of it and they would give everything away. And what is very clear is that you had this really unprecedented success that you managed to keep leveling up to the next level. And you were clearly determined to not become this two-dimensional image to people. You wanted to be who you really are. And of course, in this first part of your career, you know, Laugh-In and some of the early movies, people could say, yeah, she is the giggly girl, she's the giggly blonde, and they could label you as that. And you were very determined to say, that's not who I am. And I'm going to take some dramatic roles. I'm going to produce. I'm going to do this other stuff. But it felt to me like that is an act of will. That's a very strong act of will to say, no. Plenty of people would be very happy with that. Plenty of people would be very happy to be the person who was a huge star and laughing and playing that one role. And so where does that come from? Where does that sense of you that says, I'm not going to do that, and in fact, we're going to do things this way?
I think it's part of my nature. I mean, I went to New York at 18 and was left off on 10th Avenue and had no place to stay because the people there actually left for summer. And I'm going, wait a minute, I'm in New York. I got a little suitcase and a thing. I was dancing at the World's Fair, so I had a job. I was there. So being a dancer, number one, since 3 years old.
And you thought of yourself and still think of yourself as a dancer.
As a dancer, wow. Exactly. Yeah. It's because it's a lesson in life. And dancing was not only understanding where your body was at every moment, but man, we worked hard. And when we danced hard. When we worked out, we were going to do whatever we could do in order to get better. That was it. Okay, so it was like an athlete, all right? Mm-hmm. So you build up what I say grit, real grit, because you fall, and dancers obviously, aside from training, they were the low end of the totem pole in every musical everywhere because the singers got this thing and the payment and we broke our ass, okay, no matter what. But I like that I got the grit. I liked it. So when I went off to New York to do this, I went off, of course, not thinking I'd ever come home again, but I literally did it because I believed I could. Got the audition, go there, can't find a place to live. What do? Call home? No. I decided to move in for a little bit with my dance instructor and the choreographer, which was a bad idea because I woke up one night with a vibrator, okay? And the vibrator was not in a good spot. Oh. And I literally said, so, Phil, this isn't going to work. So maybe I need to find an apartment. So I found an apartment.
I left my body. Did anyone else leave their body? I think I left my body and I went into your body.
Yeah, and I'm in you, and
you're in my body.
I don't want to be there.
No, but you're impressed at my muscle mass.
I'm thinking about it.
Sona went into Goldie's body. Yes. Goldie said, "Get out of my body.
No, I love it
this
here.
Is not a good place.
I want to stay there."
So you wake up. Vibrator, not in a good place. And you say, I think this isn't going to work.
That's right. I mean, I was quite sure it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a certainty that comes when a vibrator is in the wrong area. Anyway, continue, please.
Yes, exactly.
Continue with this cross-examination.
Yeah, that's a binary decision.
Decisions get made very quickly that way. Okay. Now, I went out and I got an apartment, right? Now, I'm just saying this only because you don't go home again. You fight for what you believe in. It is nobody's going to take care of you. You're going to take care of yourself, which I was fine. So I went to basically 70th Street, and I found a one-room apartment, a lot of roaches, 7 police locks. It was on the door, and a guy below, a man, I would say, was a junk dealer. So he had like people lying in the hallway having been shot up. Now I'm from a dead end street in Maryland, right? And I thought I went and got the police. And the police, which I said, because I saw him come over and he looked at her. I pulled him. I said, this isn't good. Now, I just moved into the apartment. I'm already telling the police what to do.
Right.
And the police said, come on, Deirdre, let's go. Come on, Deirdre. And she was one that had just, gotten a fix somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I was scared of Deirdre because Deirdre was like in that, doing that. And then one day I walked out because I was much more afraid in my building than I was outside. I mean, it was like that. And I was walking up the street and sure enough, she's following me.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. So now she's following me, now I'm freaked out, right? Remember, I'm 19 now. And I go into some coffee shop and I sit down and I talk to the guy next to me. And I said, no, see that girl? She's got her nose against the thing and she's looking after me and I'm scared of her. He said, listen, why don't you come to my office? I'm a chiropractor. And you can sit there for a while and feel comfortable. So I said, okay, that would be great. So he pulls his car around and I go to New Jersey to his chiropractor.
Oh, wait a minute. This doesn't sound on the level.
What?
I have many times said to women, I'm a chiropractor, come with me. And I have no license. And it's, ladies, don't listen. So was it okay?
After I was sitting in his waiting room for like an hour, I said, I have to get back to the city. I mean, I can't stay here, And then eventually it was like he drove me back to the city. I said, gee, thanks. That was really great. All I asked for was a little comfort, from this guy.
Yeah.
But I thought that I could take solace in his his office for a while. No. I drove over the George Washington Bridge. I mean, it was like I was being kidnapped.
Oh my God.
I trusted everybody.
Yeah,
because,
that's a bad story. I mean,
I have a worse story.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a worse story. So when I came to New York in May, I got this roach-infested apartment, and I then went to a bathing suit tryout, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had a bag. My bag was bigger than me, and I had my bathing suits in there, and I met this guy wanting to go on the subway, and I met this guy who seemed to be a very nice guy. He said, I got to stop you for a minute. I've got to stop you. Look, you're not going to believe me. I'm not putting the make on you or anything. He said, look, I've got a watch here. I'm go with Tuesday Weld, who happened to be at that time in the 60s, like a big deal. And it says, I love you, Tuesday on it. And I went, oh, I said, oh, okay. He said, but here's the deal. Al Cap. Now I'm standing on a corner.
Mm-hmm.
Al Cap just created a television series out of Lil Abner. It's going on to TV, NBC. But you look like just amazing character that he created called Tenderleaf Erickson.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is that, you have an interesting face. And I thought, I do have an interesting face. I don't call it a beautiful face, but, big eyes. And so I thought I probably look a little strange, but he didn't say to me, you look great, you're gorgeous. No, I have an interesting face. So I believed him. Then he said to me, look, I want to give you a script. I want you to take a look at this. And if you need a ride, because I've stopped you, I've got a car. I'll drop you off at the, wherever you are, to the audition, which was, I don't know, Madison and something. And I'd just been in New York. So this is not even a month. And my job is basically, in Flushing, because I was at the World's Fair. So I was doing can on top of a bar at the Texas Pavilion. So anyway, now I sort of, he called me a little bit and warmed me up. And, it was like, it's cute. He gives me a script. And then I said, this is awesome. And he said, I want you to talk to Al Cap. He's getting an award, like Man of the Year award in Kansas City or some university. And I talked to him. And he sounded very nice. I'm really looking forward to meeting you. And I called Mom and Dad and I went, this is so great. I mean, this will be great. I'm nervous about it, but now the time comes. And I get into a cab and I go over to Fifth Avenue, an apartment. Like I'm going, oh my God, from Roach City all the way up to the Fifth Avenue apartment. And I went in, they're expecting me. I get in the elevator, and then the butler comes out, and he says, "Oh, Goldie, we've been waiting for you. Wonderful welcome." And I sit down in his lovely apartment, and he said, "Mr. Cap is not here yet." He said, "But he likes his women to pour his tea." Okay, that was a moment. Then he brings out a 400-pound sterling silver tea set with tea in it. And now I'm sitting there looking at the teapot and wondering if I even had the fulcrum to be able to lift the teapot to know how to pour it into the cup. I had to do this with my elbow, because, come on. Then he comes in. Goldie. How lovely to see you. I'll be right back. Goes into his room. He comes back in a dressing gown. He limped a little. So then he sits down. We have a conversation. I then started getting worried about his ladies pouring his tea. So I explained to him that I just got here from New York and I've been dancing and I've got a really good family. And I wanted him to think well of me. So I wasn't one of those girls. And I told him that, my mom, daddy was really interested in me working. He was such support. But, my mom really wanted me to end up marrying a Jewish dentist. And that's kind of the way it worked, right? And so that was great. And he said, well, okay. So now I'm reading for him. He was very legit. He said, look, you're projecting too much. So remember, there's microphones. And now I'm reading this part. I don't remember who she was. And then he said, now I'd like you to go over to the end of the room. And I want you just make me the camera so I can get an idea. And just, look a little stupid. I mean, look kind of, like you're just and like an imbecile. So now I'm trying to, work on this and going, okay, I have to look like an imbecile. So I'm going to take the beads and put it out on my mouth. I had like pop beads on, it was 60. Mm-hmm. And I put them in my mouth and I walked toward him and looked just stupid. I mean, I was just trying to look like, what is that little thing? And now I'm looking at him, and now he said to me, now, you know what? You could play Daisy May. Now, I did Little Abner in school. I know that play backwards and forwards, all the music. No, I was not Daisy May. She's very buxom, shorts, really sexy, one of those. And so I thought, this is weird. So he said, I'd like to see your legs.
Oh my God. So
I went over by this smoky mirror. And now keep in mind, dancers are not shy. I mean, we dance with, things on and whatever. So when you're dancing and you're doing go-go, which I did, I danced on tables too, is that you shake it, you do it, you have like high-cut leotards and you change in the thing and the wings, you're fine. You got your underpants on, you're covered, whatever. So I wasn't shy, but I was dubious. And so now I know exactly what I was wearing. It's amazing when you have these moments. It was a pink knit, maybe mini, beginning mini, not much, just over the top of the knees. And now I pull my skirt up just a little bit. He said, more. So I pulled it up another inch. And he said, higher. And I said, no, that's it. I'm done. He said, okay. He said, Goldie, come on over here. So I go over. He has now taken out his penis. It was, I'm telling you, it was not a pretty picture. I mean, I love penises, but this was not a good one. And it was flipped over his situation. It basically was a wooden leg. So he limped. And the reason is that, he had a wooden leg. Bless his heart, he didn't have a thing. But he did have another leg. And that leg, he said, now come over here and give me a little kiss. And I looked at him. I looked at his other limb. I looked at his wooden leg. I came back and I said, Mr. Cap, I will never get a job like this.
Wow.
I will never do that. He said, well, I've had them all. You're going to go nowhere in this business. I've had them all. You name it. He said, so it's done. And I said, okay. And I was upset but I was getting it on the way, so I got it, And then I said, okay, I said, I better get going because I'm going to be late for my work at the World's Fair. And he threw $20 at me and he said, take a cab. And I went out there and I did all my show. That was a huge show we did. It wasn't just a can-can. It was 40 minutes of dancing straight. I mean, truly hard. And I'm trying to shake the fringe. It's black fringe. I'm trying to do all this stuff. And I was like bereaved. The fella that I had been seeing a bit was down below. Basically, was the bartender. He cut and he said, listen, let me take you out for a drink. Now, I said, okay. So we went back to the Endive, which was just by the 59th Street Bridge. And it was basically a bar. And I sat there at the bar and one of his friends came up. His friend had a car. And it was about 2:30 in the morning. And we was driving us home. And we go on West Side Highway. And this is all in one day. We were pushed over by a taxi cab into a light pole. At that time, the West Side Highway was horrible. And we crashed. I saw it coming. I went underneath the dashboard. It was no bucket seats in those days, no seat belts. I was in the middle. The two guys were on either side of me. We hit this light pole. I was knocked out. I remember that there was somebody pulling at me and asking, is she alive? And they cut everything to try to get to me. The boys, I don't know what was happening to the boys. They took me to the hospital, the ambulance, I guess. I don't remember any of it. And I woke up with a nurse trying to get x-rays and, I vomited all over her. And she was so mean, by the way. She said, you just had the dry heaves, and then of course I didn't. And now my friend came in. He had a gash on his nose. The other fellow that was driving had a gash in his knee. I had a little gash in my leg and a concussion. Only God could have saved us from that. Only God. And as it turned out, to end this particular story, I woke up in my apartment that I do not remember going into. I woke up to the phone ringing, and it happened to be this fella. He said,
the one who connected you
yes,
to
the
Al
young
Cap.
guy.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah.
So Peter said, you fucked everything up, didn't you? I told you to be nice to him. I told you to do this, and you fucked everything up. And I said, Peter, go back to Tuesday Weld and leave me alone.
Jesus.
I then made it to the bathroom. I was so dizzy. I threw up again. And then I realized I had nobody in New York. I didn't have, the only number I had, the new number I had was his. So I picked up the phone, and by the grace of God, I remembered that number. And I called him back up and I said, Peter, I'm sorry, but I was in a really bad accident last night. And I'm alone. And he was just horrified. He hung up. He came to my house. He lived right down the street to my apartment. And he had roses. And he said, oh, I'm so sorry. He said, I'm just a pimp for Al Cap, and you're such a nice person. Oh, he took me to the hospital.
He admitted it?
Yes.
Said, wow. Whoa.
Yes. And he was 26 years old. And I was 19. So he was a kid. After that, my mom came for 2 weeks. And then until I started, feeling better. I'm going to jump to something really crazy right now because it'll end the story, truly end the story. When I go places, I like to see holy places. I like to see people who might have a gift of the future. I'm interested in all the things like you said. And so I was now with Kurt. We had made Protocol. Kurt had made another movie. We decided to go to Nepal, do some hiking, came back, went to Thailand. And now we're in Thailand. And I said to someone that we had met there I would love to find someone, a psychic or something. So we went to all the beautiful places, but we went and met this guy. His name was Sonny, young man. He sat down at a Thai restaurant where we met him. And he's looking at me, looking at all the things he starts writing. They were all geometrics. And he looked at me and he said, did you almost die when you were around 19? And I said, no, I didn't. He said, it's written. You just think back. And then I remembered my accident. And I remembered that I left my body and saw, I got the chills, and saw myself being pulled out and all of that. And I thought, I wonder if that was meant to happen. And then I went back to my body, because I then said to him, I said, no, actually, I was in a really bad accident. Ah, he said, because it says that your life changed very quickly after that. And I did. I went to LA. I got a job in LA. I cut my hair. I went to I danced in Vegas. Next thing I come back, I'm excited. I got a job dancing on the Andy Griffith and show and thing. And I was like home free. And it was amazing. And I was going to be used. Nick Castle was a choreographer. I'm going to use you in everything. And so an agent comes up to me on the show, services the shows. And I was just with 12 beautiful girls. And he asked me, do you have an agent? And I said, I don't really. And he said, I'd like to talk to you. And of course, do I trust men at that point? Not really. So I figured it was just that guy. It was like, I'm not really, I'm going to the William Morris office. You got to be kidding. They called, are you coming? We're expecting you, whatever. This is after the show is over. And I said, you mean this is real? You mean he really does want to see me? And well, you get over here, we're at William Morris. We're all waiting for you. And so I get in my car, which, by the way, the car was like 54 Ford, and every time I made a right-hand turn, the left-hand door opened. So, so
it's kind of a signal. It works like a signal.
I mean, I used to, just one hand make a right-hand turn. I couldn't do left hands or that, I get up there, I go to William Morris, they're all sitting there, and all the agents are sitting there, and they're just adorable. They're all, they all have Jaguars, is all I can say. They all had Jaguars. And they were sitting there, and then this young agent said, I have a feeling about her. Cut to. They said, well, if you sign her, go ahead and sign her if you believe in her, And I don't say a word. So now, next thing I know, you put me up for this thing. Oh, she's too young for that. She shouldn't be in that. He said, I just want them to see her. Now, this was, Persky and Danoff. These are all, big people, big funny people. And this was a three camera show. I go in there, I do the audition, I come out, I go home. My agent called, my new agent, and he said, you got the part.
Is this Good Morning World?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I have a brother, Neil, and my listeners are probably familiar with Neil, and he knows everything about television, especially 60s, 70s, everything. And he's always bringing up the thing that you don't expect him to say. And so I say, I'm really excited because I'm going to talk to Gourley Hawn tomorrow. And he went, oh my God, because he loves you. And he's like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's fantastic. And there's 75 things that are huge hits that people associate with Gourley Hawn. And he says, ask her about Good Morning World.
Oh my God.
With Ronnie Shell.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, what? And he went, yes. Oh my God, Good Morning World. I have all 9 episodes. And I said, you know what? I might. And then I'm thinking, no, I'm not. And then you bring me, like you say, there's a magic in the world.
Exactly.
So I know about the sitcom you got that was before you got Laugh-In,
exactly,
which turned you which blew up crazily. Yeah.
I mean, really, that is so insane.
But the fact that my brother Neil, he's always doing that. If I said, oh, I'm going to go see Jane Fonda, he'll say, well, ask her about, the time that she was on Have Gun Will Travel as a 13-year-old opposite Burt Mustin. And I'll be like, what? Oh, yeah, no, 1959. She was great. She said, help, get the sheriff. I'm like, what? Well, how about all the other shit Jane Fonda did? Oh, yeah, okay, you can ask her about that. But anyway, that's so cool that you brought that up.
Nobody knows about that.
Neil does.
I mean, now one person
God
knows.
bless you, Neil, yeah.
Oh, my God.
But, everything you're talking about, first of all, we live in this new reality now, thank God, I hope, where everything that happened to you is crazily actionable. We'd like to think that that's over, but the fact that that was just a part of the life of 19-year-old attractive blonde who comes from a really good family and is just trying to make it, and that's that happens. Oh yeah, well that's just part of it, is absolutely insane and kind of devastating. That was just a regular part of the world.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was like my mother wrote me a letter and she said, "I'm very happy, sweetheart, but remember, only you can make people care about you. Your producers don't matter. And there's this little thing called the casting couch."
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Just be aware of that, because the one person that has to make it is you. You have to be prepared. You have to be good enough to know that you'll be the one that the audience will applaud. It's not about your producer." So I had a work ethic.
Yeah.
I also, a year later, just as a coda to this story, a guy stops me on 8th Avenue as I'm going down to another audition. He stops me. His name is Jeff Tuffler. And he said, "Stop. Listen, I gotta tell you something. You look like a character that Al Cap just created, and I want to talk to you about it."
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
And I yelled at him. And I said, "Don't come to me with that. I know exactly who you are. I was taken by another pimp just like you." I said, "So I'm not interested." And he said, "Can I buy you a hamburger?" And I said, "Yes," because I didn't have any money.
Yeah. You always say yes to a hamburger.
I mean, please,
Yeah.
when do you turn that down?
Yeah.
So while I was eating the hamburger, I said, "I just want to say one thing to you. I live at 888th Avenue, and you put a contract in my mailbox because I'm not doing this." I then go to audition to be a Copa girl, and there he is. And I went over to him and I said, "I'm telling every girl here who you are."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when we have ethics, those are ethics. Those are stand up and be counted.
Yeah.
And I was fearless about what I believe to be ethical and true. And I guess at the end of the day, it's who we are.
Yeah.
It's who we are.
Hi, my name is Gary Goldman, and I feel ecstatic about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
That's very sweet.
And I feel like I wouldn't be that irritating.
Well, okay. Now, wait a minute. Now now I have reservations.
Well,
that you bring it up.
Because you intersect with a lot of the things that I've taken great joy in my life, like when you wrote on Saturday Night Live, and then the early Simpsons, and then your show. We started, we were colleagues, but I started doing comedy October 11th, and your show started September 13th,
in 1993.
1993.
Wow. Okay.
So I had a job as a CPA working for Coopers and Lybrand at the time, but then they killed off Lybrand and merged with Price Waterhouse. Anyhow,
but this is the best road into comedy. Traditionally.
Yes. And so I remember watching your first episode when I was doing accounting during the day and just not being able to get out of bed for work the next day. So we've intersected. But I would
thank you.
I would every once in a while I'd say, "Did you mind if I ask you about that episode where you pretended?" I was convinced that they were real headlines and real articles from newspapers.
Right.
And then they became more and more absurd. And it was a kind of takeoff on the Tonight Show at the time.
Wasn't just a takeoff.
Oh my gosh.
It was ridiculing.
Yes.
The existing Tonight Show in a way that I really enjoyed.
Yes.
Which was
and I thought, oh my gosh.
That host would show, these are real these are, I won't do the accent, but these would show real, this is a real ad, and look at this funny thing in the ad. And we would say, we're going to do the same thing. And we would show an ad that looked fairly innocent for a waterbed. And then it would pan down in the corner and there'd be a little picture of Charles Manson. And it would say, Charles Manson says, this is, this, waterbed is murdering good. Something that's insane.
It's not even an expression.
Yeah, and then I would always act kind of incredulous.
Yes.
Like, how does that help sell the waterbed?
Right.
And Andy, of course, would play along, and he'd be like, I don't quite see why. And I remember, I thought we just loved writing those.
They
and
were so good. The funeral home one, we will make the death of a loved one the most horrific experience. And you were outraged.
Oh, I was always outraged.
This is a difficult time for these people.
Yeah.
And they're promising to make it worse.
Yeah. I loved those.
And then
we called them actual items. And I'd always say, now this looks normal right here. This looks fairly normal, but whatever. And it's for like a restaurant where kids can eat. And then, always it's, but why is look over here? And it's a little Hitler.
Yeah. Or there was a woman who was hit by a car and she was treated by Dr. Hope she's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it makes me happy that you were watching. There are all these comedians. There are all these comedians that I adore, and you are among them. And makes me happy to know that they were watching because, just
it was
pure...
that thing that you had mentioned before about how when you first watched Gary Shandling show,
Mm-hmm.
this is just for me.
Yes,
and I felt that way, like with Get a Life with Chris Elliott, and then with when you started doing the late night.
It was funny. It was sending out a little signal and thinking somewhere out there someone's getting this.
Yeah,
and we just wanted to do that. We also wanted to stay on the air, which proved very difficult. Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend is brought to you by the Kia EV9 and Sirius XM. Sona, you remember we talked about the Kia EV9, and we finally got to see it.
Ooh.
I went down and looked at it. Beautiful. Well, first of all, the color was gorgeous. It's this nice blue. It's got this very spacious third row.
Yeah.
I love a third row. I'm a large fellow. As you know, I'm 6'4", all muscle.
Okay. Well,
and,
that's debatable.
I was very comfortable. I really enjoyed it. And the plan. The plan is to have my assistant who took over for you because you weren't working out, David. Well, you know what I mean. You're goofing around a lot.
Okay.
David came in, and David, you're going to run some errands for me in the Kia EV9.
I'm excited.
It's a good-looking car,
It is.
and you and I sat in it for a second. It felt very comfortable.
Oh, wait, so much space.
Here's a little plus I want to add. SiriusXM offers a 3-month trial subscription to all equipped Kia vehicles. SiriusXM provides access to over 165 plus channels in the vehicle to listen to ad-free music plus sports, news, comedy, and more, including fan favorite Conan O'Brien Radio on channel 104.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to send you out.
All right.
You're going to go out in the EV9 and you're going to do some errands for me.
Great.
Just enjoy this car. You're a young guy. This is a fine, fine car. Okay. I'm not saying that you don't deserve to drive a car this nice, but I am saying that.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, there it is.
The all-new, all-electric 3-row Kia EV9. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Kia.com/EV9. Kia. Movement that inspires. There's a lot to talk about here. I'm going to start by paying you a compliment, which is a gentleman who worked for me for, almost, 30 years is Brian Kiley. And Brian Kiley I adore because he's the best joke writer I've ever known. One-liner joke writer.
Yeah.
And also just a great guy and
the kindest, most generous,
writes a deadly joke. Like he can just make an ice bullet of a joke, and it's beautifully. And I'll tell you, Brian Kiley has always raved about you.
Oh wow!
Even before I really got to know you, he was
that's
like,
so nice.
Gary Goldman is such a good. And then I started watching we had you on the show, and you did what became this viral sensation. You did this bit about how the states
got their abbreviations.
Yeah. And what I remember is the architecture and the thought that went into it. You're so goddamn smart, and the intricacy of it, and just immediately thought, who is this guy? This guy's fantastic.
Wow.
And then, of course,
nice.
I keep checking your clip from your appearance on your show where you did this. And millions and millions and millions of people keep seeing that
it's really
and
cool.
keep going back to it. And it's it makes me very happy that so many people now have joined the cult, because it is a cult of Gary Goldman. And that
there are no questions allowed.
No questions allowed.
They have to follow
And you
my
have
orders.
yes, and you have certain rights with the other women in the cult.
Whoa.
Well, he does.
Whoa.
Because he wears the red robe and everyone else wears the blue robe. Well, oh, come on. This is Cult 101.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry.
I'm interested.
Oh, you're in, buddy.
Uh-oh.
I was so happy that you were going to come here today. And I'm just going to mention this because this just happened. We always put out, I don't know if you saw it on the way in, we put up a nice welcome basket.
Oh, yeah. And nobody does that anywhere else. It's
Right.
so nice.
And it's filled with like treats and things like that. And I walk and it says, welcome. And there's a little chalkboard right there, a mini chalkboard. And whoever's coming, like, we had, this is a true story, we put out some muffins, or someone put out some muffins for Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he walked in and pointed at them with disdain and went, muffins, and walked past them. And then on the way out, he took a bite of one and like spit it out and went, not even good. But I was looking at your gift basket, and it was filled with all this great stuff, and I picked up, I don't know why, I just picked up this there's a nice thing of blue diamond almonds, whole natural. And it's look at this is a very nice can. And it's been set out for you amidst all these other like beautiful things. And I just happened to, I don't know why, but I was like talking to somebody and I was playing with the top and I pulled the top off. This has been pre-opened.
Oh my gosh.
Someone opened this, took some almonds, then put the foil back and put the top back on. And I thought, what?
And it's someone in this room.
Exactly. Well, I don't know if it's someone in this room. It's someone in this building, or else it was from the last time. But someone did this, and I thought, what message is this sending to Gary, who was going to take the basket home?
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm having these now.
Take the basket home. Blue Diamond has always reminded me of wacky packages, like how easy it would have been to make a wacky pack of Blood Diamond almonds.
Nice.
And it would be gory, like a wacky package.
I used to love wacky packages.
Yeah. They were awesome.
Do you remember do you know at all?
What?
They were drawn parodies like you'd see in a Mad magazine or a Cracked, but they were for a popular product. And then they would do a drawing of it and they would make this sort of...
Yeah, but the artists were incredible.
Yeah.
Like Art Spiegelman used to work for them.
Yeah.
They were
guy who did
stickers with
Mouse.
bubble
Yeah,
gum.
they were
like trading
stickers with
They were
bubble gum.
stickers, and then you'd stick them everywhere, and that was a
Yeah.
big part of my childhood.
It's just
was
stuck 'em
seeing
on
these
our,
wacky packs.
Our bedroom doors would be their final resting
More
place.
beautiful Victorian homes have been
Yes.
destroyed
Oh, no.
by these shitty stickers.
Yeah, by wacky packages
You and
and STP stickers.
You and I,
That's true.
I want to make sure I mention your book too.
Oh,
You've been
thank you.
busy. You have a
I
new
didn't
memoir.
want to be a schnorrer, which is a Yiddish term meaning like
I
a
learned
pig,
that word
like a
from
taker.
Groucho Marx.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to sing a song about being I'm not a schnorrer, which I think was
wow.
my Captain Spaulding. I think has the
Okay.
word schnorrer in it. My name is Captain Spaulding, the African explorer. I'm no schnorrer. Hooray,
I
hooray,
love
hooray!
that. Oh,
And I remember as a
little
kid
Yiddish.
as being a huge fan of the Marx Brothers and
Yeah.
thinking schnorrer. What's schnorrer?
Yeah.
And then someone explained it to me.
Oh, that's a great feeling for a Yiddish, a Jewish person who knows some Yiddish to explain it to somebody, because when you show interest, we get very excited.
Yeah.
I
You
don't know.
guys have you guys, and by say you guys, I mean the Jewish people have the greatest phrase of all time, which works for everything. Oi.
Oy.
And
Oh,
it's
I know.
perfect. And you know what it's perfect for? Texts. Because people tell me
Yeah.
stuff and it's really heavy
Yeah.
and you don't have time. And sometimes I just say oi
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah,
And
exactly.
you can picture the face, the emoji that goes along with it.
Yeah.
And it's
It's the same face of when all the pastrami falls out of the sandwich.
it's Billy Crystal's Mr. Saturday Night character. That's what I picture.
So Misfit, growing up awkward in the 80s, is your memoir.
Yes.
And was this cathartic for you? Because you've you've talked about it a lot, and I think very, people say, "Oh, it's brave," and I think it's like, well, it's great that you talk about your struggles with mental health, and I applaud that. But it's that you do it with so much empathy,
Oh,
and you do it so intelligently, and you're funny about it.
Oh, thanks.
And I think that is that's a bomb. That's worth that's worth all the
you.
Prozac in the world, you know?
I mean, it was something that I aspired to over the years, to finally get to a point where I was far enough away from it that, and also that it was sort of a success story of I overcame this, because in the midst of it, I wasn't able to write about it. And also my brain wasn't working well enough and I didn't have enough confidence, but I was so elated and grateful to be on the other side of my depression, which I received ECT about 4 months before I did that abbreviating the states thing. And
Really?
yeah. And so
ECT,
the electroconvulsive therapy I was inpatient in Weill Cornell Hospital, New York Presbyterian in Manhattan, and
you said one of the patients actually recognized
me from TV, and yeah, he said, "Am I crazy? Or are you Gary Goldman?" Which is, I mean, you can write an entire act.
Apparently, both.
Yeah. You are crazy, but I'm getting that from context.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not because you think I'm Gary Goldman, although I would say maybe shoot higher for who you're imagining. You can imagine anybody.
Napoleon.
Yeah.
So many people to aim for.
Yes, yeah. And so anyhow, I was so grateful, and I wanted to tell the story because I wanted to share that there's hope, because that was one thing my doctor and my wife never gave up on me, but I gave up on myself many, many times. I kept going through the motions and trying new medicine and treatments, and ECT finally was the thing that worked, in the hospitalization, and it got me to a level that I had never experienced in my life. I had spent my entire life sort of working at 70, 75%, sometimes 80% if I could get some momentum. And then it had kind of a cycle where I would be productive for 9 months and then I would fall apart and have to start all over again. So it was very frustrating. But since I have been, I guess I would say, in remission, that was probably October of 2017, I've had the most joy and experienced life in a way without the heaviness and the fatigue that accompanied a lot of my depressive episodes. So I'm so grateful. So I was happy to share this story so that it would give some people hope, because what I didn't realize is that people thought, I used to think when somebody famous would either commit suicide or come out about being depressed, I would say, well, why would that person be depressed? And I didn't realize that I could be that for some people, that some people would say, oh, if he can get depressed, then it's not a matter of accomplishing something. It's a matter of chemistry. Yeah. And that's the thing that's very hard for people to understand, because the same thing you're trying to work with is telling you this isn't chemistry. It's you. You're lazy. You're dumb. You're untalented. So it was important that I was able to get that story
I'm guilty of
out.
the same thing when I was a kid, or even well into my teens and 20s, when I would hear about a brilliant author or just a performer I loved, or anyone getting really depressed, and I would think, but I don't understand.
Yeah. Elvis?
Why would Elvis be depressed?
Yeah.
Why would anyone who has that be depressed? And then, as you go through life, you realize that material things, success, or getting recognized is... it's nice, but it is really true that it doesn't have anything to do with your brain chemistry. And sometimes it can exacerbate it and make it feel worse. Yeah. Like, oh my God, I have this. And
this was supposed to be the thing that made me feel good about myself.
Yeah. So many people get into comedy or get into this business because they think, once I get that, and everyone knows who I am, and I'm driving a car that looks like that, then all my problems will be over. And when it doesn't happen, rage.
Painful.
Rage.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about myself.
But it was...
rage mostly that the car isn't nicer.
Oh, well, okay.
I mean, come on. Tesla's nice, but I want a Bugatti. And I never got one! And that fucking sled! Sprawled out, but it's not mine.
Did the toboggan have a name?
Yeah, exactly. That when I die, I'm just gonna say toboggan. It'll be like all these reporters will be scattered.
Bobo.
Yeah, toboggan. Yeah, whatever. Glide right. You are, well, I'll just say it again. Pleasure to know you.
That's
I
so
really
nice to
admire.
hear.
I really
I feel the same way. You've brought me so much joy.
I really admire you because you're such a highly intelligent and empathetic comedian, and you do such beautiful work. You've been through a lot, which makes me sad, but also you've come through the other side, and you're very honest about it. I think it's going to help a lot of people. But mostly, if I didn't know any of this, I watch these specials, I watch your comedy. Every time I've seen you perform, I think, man, that guy is so gifted. He thinks so differently than everyone else. And everything is so crafted and beautifully done, the work that goes into it. So thank you.
Oh,
What you do is, as the Irish say, a mitzvah.
I'm pinching myself because that means so much to me, but also, and this was one of the things I wanted to mention, just the exposure you gave me on that show all those times it changed my life, and it gave me a touring career. So I'm so grateful for what you've brought to me, even before I was on the show, just the joy in knowing that, there are other people who find this funny. And I thought it was just...
Well, we found each other.
Yeah.
And now we're two gangly, depressed guys from Massachusetts who know each other.
Who love to read.
Yay, us.
Yeah. I love that interview you did with Stephen Wright on his book, Harold.
Oh, my God,
which was such an incredible book. And he was a guy I listened to growing up who made me so happy,
He led the way for
so
many people.
But you made him laugh so hard that it was just a different side of Stephen
what's so
Wright.
funny?
My gosh, you were killing him.
The universal comment I've heard, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but it's funny how many people have said this.
Yeah.
All these comedians that have never heard him laugh.
Yes.
And I was thinking the same thing.
Yes.
Which is, he laughs.
Oh my gosh.
Because he's so straight all the time.
But he's such a kind, generous,
wonderful,
humble. Humble.
Yeah. He's a
Beyond
magical.
humble. Yeah.
He is a magical,
he's really special. Yeah.
Magical man with a hideous Boston accent. But what are you going to do? Your obsession with comedy, or your interest in comedy, goes way back to when you were a kid, and you got to do something that I dreamed of doing but never got to do, which is you got to go to a live taping of Johnny Carson's Tonight Show.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something I never experienced.
Oh,
Can you
wow.
tell me what that was like?
Yes. I was 13. I had just been bar mitzvahed, and my brother Max had gone to spring break and been bumped 3 times. And back then in the
From the audience.
No, I'm sorry. That made it sound like my brother Max was a guest on the Tonight Show with Carson. No, he'd been bumped by the airline.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And flying on spring break, and so he had gotten these tickets. I don't know if they were round trip, but they afforded my mother and I to go to Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. My brother couldn't use them because he was starting a job in Florida, so he gave them to us. We used them to go to Los Angeles. Stayed with my cousin Della. We waited in line and got tickets to get into but I was 13. You had to be 16 to get into a live taping, but I was already 5'11", or almost 6 feet.
Right.
And so my mother said, he's 16. And then I got in, and I said, oh my God, we made it. And then an usher said, excuse me, how old are you? And my mother got right in her face, and she said, do you think I would take a child into something as important as the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson? And my mother, the lying.
God
was
bless
just,
her.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She really got
I
in her
want
face.
your job. Be great if she got that kid fired.
Yeah.
And ruined her
She was
life.
so convincing. I felt like I was 16.
Yeah.
I had just turned 13. And anyhow, it couldn't have been a better. First of all, Johnny did the monologue, and he screwed up one of the lines and retook it. And then when they went to break, he said, I really blew the shit out of that joke. And I said, oh my gosh, he swore.
Yeah.
And you didn't hear Johnny Carson.
Well, you know what? I talked to
swear.
Robert Smigel, told me that he went to a taping of Johnny Carson, and Johnny Carson, when he knew it wouldn't, because it was pre-taped, said shit in front of the crowd, and they went wild. So that I think that was something he liked to do, because everyone thought, back then the idea of someone that you knew on TV that intimately saying the word shit was impossible.
Yes.
And so that must have been electrifying.
It was electrifying. And then the guest was Carrie Fisher and Gary Shandling.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. So Princess Leia at her Leiaist. And then this.
And Gary at his Shandlingist.
Oh my gosh. And then this comedian who I only knew from the Tonight Show. And he was so funny. And then he did this bit with, it wasn't a bit, I guess, but it came off as a bit with Carrie Fisher, where he says, I know your parents, Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher. Do you know my parents, Irv and Muriel Shandling? And I was in love. I was like, here's this guy who's Jewish, neurotic, and miserable, yet he's flirting with Carrie Fisher. And it was that was the thing that I always found so interesting about comedians. They really had nothing to speak of in terms of being attractive to women, but they had all this confidence in it, and it really captured me at a very, very young age. I was like, that is the only way I'm ever going to get married, is if I'm super funny like Shandling or somebody like that.
That's fascinating, because I realize, I've talked about this a lot, but I think that kids naturally, I'm going to back it up because I think this is the analogy I've made, but I think when you play a video game, you're told, here are your powers or here are your weapons. You get like an inventory.
Yeah.
And I think all kids throughout history take an inventory early on. And I remember my feeling as a kid for me was, what are all the necessary things I need, and not having them? Like,
wow.
Do I have the looks that a girl? No. Am I an athlete? No. Am I this? Am I not? And I just remember kept going through. And then when I found out that I could make people laugh, thinking, all right, I've got this. I'm going to develop the fuck out of this.
Yes.
I'm going to.
Yes.
And then being able to, and mostly being interested in, I want that girl to like me. So.
Yeah.
And then the big barrier is she's laughing really hard, but I see her going to the dance with that other guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because
he's not as funny. Or his comedy is not as well worked out.
Right, exactly. No, he has no comedy, but he has a developed body.
Yeah.
Who needs that?
Yeah.
My shallow chest should be enough for anyone.
And
my wasted legs? What's wrong with these? My 19th century cough, the little bits of pink foam from dissolving lung. What's wrong with that?
Why are you saying those things, though?
My dad took care of everyone but me. A brilliant scientist who never noticed that I was dying of consumption.
You were the control experiment.
I was the control experiment.
I think consumption is my favorite old-timey disease, because a lot of people will go tuberculosis, but the people who are familiar go consumption.
Consumption. Also, I love...
What?
It's true. Oh, it's total. I'm totally with Gary. Look, you and I speak the exact same language. I like that people used to have stuff called the flux.
Yeah. Or
And-
they'd call you a lunger. If
Yeah,
you,
a lunger.
If you
If you had a lung,
consumption or
if you had consumption, they call you a
tuberculosis,
lunger.
Yeah.
But also, I love that when you got sick back then, they would apply a poultice. They would apply a mustard poultice to your chest, which basically means, just covering your chest with
Vicks
mustard.
Vapo rub.
Yeah, exactly. but they did it for like someone would get shot in the head. I believe when Lincoln was dying of a bullet the size of an Oreo cookie in his brain, they were like, apply a poultice. A mustard poultice will save the president.
Did it work?
Kinda. Because when he died, he smelled like a hot dog. And people weren't quite as sad.
I'm sure there were other poultices. There was the mustard.
I always hear about mustard.
The remoulade poultice. The tapenade poultice. That way he doesn't pull through, but we have a dip. We have a dipping sauce.
No, at the end,
Triscuits.
after Lincoln died, everyone sat around and they were very sad. And Seward said, now he belongs to the ages. And then somehow someone produced a bag of tortilla chips. And they just started dipping into this stuff. Little salsa. They all just start crunching.
What the...
Mary Lincoln comes in. What are you doing? Well, we can't let this go to waste. The coffin isn't here yet. You and I have a bunch of things to talk about. First of all, I want to compliment you in another way, which is you have a stand-up special which has dropped literally 2 days ago, I think. Okay, now everyone's correcting me with 4. Oh, great, because we would have had a lot of calls. Why did you have to? Why did you guys have to correct me on that?
Because you were looking at us like, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just say yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah,
Close
sure.
enough,
Yeah.
idiot. That's all I need.
You were wrong.
It's just wrong with a soft G.
Don't do it here now.
It's not
Don't
wrong,
do it
guh.
here now. Don't do it
Okay.
in front of Gary, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't you mean Jerry?
Yeah. Born on Third Base
Yes.
is your stand-up special, and it's hilarious. Now,
thank
full
you.
disclosure, I'm such a fan that I had some involvement with my people in helping to bring this to reality. But I'm saying this as someone who hates himself.
How
So
can that be?
I'd be more than happy to shit on it if I could. It's really, really funny
Oh,
and
thank
beautifully
you.
done.
Thank you.
It's really nice, and so I'm congratulations.
Well, I had a lot of fun touring it, and the people liked it, and I shot it in Toronto, where they're just so nice and really love comedy, and so I'm,
Oh my
I'm
God, Canada,
very grateful.
Toronto.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's where that's where my ghost is going to go when it roams the earth, doing bits. It's going to go up to Toronto.
They have
Because
the
they're
best taste, and they're so nice.
They're really smart, and they laugh,
Yeah.
and they're fun.
Yeah.
And what's wrong? Why are you looking at me
No,
like
I
that?
just. What a weird thing to say.
I don't wanna
that your
go up to-
ghost is gonna go to Toronto and you're just gonna do bits.
Yeah, I don't want to go to heaven. Heaven
Okay,
sounds boring.
Okay. You're
I
just
don't
want
wanna
to
go
be stuck
up-
in like this purgatory.
I don't want to go talk to Eleanor Roosevelt on a cloud. I want to go
What?
up to Toronto and do bits, and then go to a cool restaurant
But
afterwards.
wouldn't heaven, by definition, be a bunch of people who love your bits?
Yeah.
No, I don't like that.
Okay.
That seems patronizing. I wouldn't like that.
But you think, I'm sorry, just going back to this, you think you're going to go to Toronto, you're going to appear as a ghost, and people are just going to be like, let's see what bits he has.
Yes. What's the
Be like,
Gary, if you were in Toronto and you knew that I had passed away in the last year or two, and you heard that my ghost was in Toronto and he was doing bits somewhere, wouldn't you check him out?
I would check them out, and then I would also spend a lot of time seeing Rush.
But no, in this scenario, they're dead too. But they're also playing.
No. This is my idea of heaven. Rush is touring, and Conan is doing stand-up associated with it.
Yeah.
And we're also spending time breaking down some of the licks, the guitar licks and things like that, and also the
I love it.
the
See?
drum solos.
This man gets me.
This
Okay.
is
now
Now
it
listen,
makes sense.
Gary, you are a fellow Massachusetts masshole like
Peabody.
myself. You're from
Yes.
Peabody.
yes.
And you talk about this a lot in your special, and you've touched on it before, but it really does inform a lot of your comedy, which is, I think, quite beautiful. But you grew up poor. You grew up. There's no other way to say it. You
we
grew
were
up poor.
we were broke Jewish people, which people think, oh, that's a thing, and but it really, most of us, especially in that time of in the 70s, a lot of people were broke. So yes, half the Jews would be broke too, right? Everybody was, yeah. So and that informed me. It developed my personality in terms of my resentment towards certain kids growing up who had more than us, and it didn't have to be much. It could be an above ground pool, and I would be like, oh, look at the opulence. These people, they don't know what it is to struggle, and Christmas used to just blow me away. These kids would just get so much for Christmas,
Right.
and I would get a thing. 8 nights of a thing, but some of them were practical, which you don't want for holidays.
Like what? Well, give me an example of a practical Hanukkah gift.
I remember everybody says socks, but I would get pajamas, which I very rarely wore
Right.
because it just that it was either freezing cold in my house, which required an electric blanket, which I can't even believe those things were legal at the time. They were just fire starters, but also
Oh, they
you could
all
be,
and also
you could be
anytime-
electrocuted.
I just know this in Massachusetts. But every time a house burned down,
Yes.
in the 50s, 60s, or
Yeah.
70s, you'd see firemen walking away afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I'd hang out at these things, and they'd always, as a true arsonist does.
Yes.
But they'd always be like shaking their heads, going, and you'd always read in the paper that it was an electric blanket.
An electric blanket, or there would be a fire chief holding up a melted light bright.
Yes. Yes.
And it would be, hopefully it would be the clown, because the clown face would melt into a frown.
Yeah.
Because he was upset by this as well. The clown,
sure,
not just the fire chief. But yeah, those were the two biggest fire causes.
Because
I
what
think,
could
in
go
the
wrong
70s.
if you took mid 20th century knowledge of electrical wiring and ran it through a bunch of cotton and nylon? Like, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
And then you go to sleep
driest
and
time
just
of year.
crank this thing.
Yeah.
So people would just burst into flames.
Yeah.
So you grow up in Peabody, and what's interesting is you said that it gave you a completely different perspective than a lot of kids have when you grew up not having. You grew up not having stuff, and so that you knew just by rote what things cost.
Oh yes.
And you had that all down, which you said when you don't have money, you know all of this stuff.
Yes, that's what always irritated me. I remember I had this neighbor who went to a summer camp, and I was interested in it because he came back with and this is a phenomenon of Jewish summer camps, where these kids who were kind of average athletics and attractiveness would go to summer camp, and they would walk taller when they returned, because they were they had culled all the Gentile kids from the group. So it was just the Jews were standing out, and the only choice the girls had or the boys had were other Jewish people. So that there was this thing, and they would be so confident, and because they had made out with a girl over the summer, where they weren't getting any makeout sessions in junior high or seventh grade or anything. And then they would come back in the fall, and they had more confidence. And I envied this. And I remember asking the kid, "Well, how much does this thing cost?" He says, "I don't know. Why would I know how much things cost?" And I said, "Oh, you would ask for something, and your parents would tell you no, we can't afford it, and then they would tell you how much everything costs."
Yes, so you knew how much everything.
Yeah. I remember I wanted this robot called 2XL, which was really just an 8-track player that they had somehow. It was a brilliant thing where it would ask you questions, and it was a trivia thing, and you got informed, and it was $54.87 in Toys R Us, where my mom worked at the mall, and she couldn't afford a babysitter, so I would, at 9 years old, walk around the mall for 3 hours while she worked, and then when the boss left, I could go in there and hang out at the stationery store. But I would walk around, hang around at Toys R Us, and at Sears you could play the Atari for a while, and then the Orange Julius kids would give me free Julii.
I love that you did the plural of Julius. That makes me so happy.
This sounds like heaven.
It was incredible.
Did you ever have fried octopi with your Julii?
So I was like the mall mascot, basically, and I would hang out at the Toys R Us, and there was this robot called 2XL, and I knew it was $54.87, and I would every year I would ask for it, and then but I also would ask people if I could borrow $54.87, which is so specific. But I hadn't worked out the fact that it would probably be 5% tax, and also the parents would always say $55, but kids would always know that there was $54.87.
Sure,
that was a big kid thing. So I think.
Did you ever get it?
I did get it. My mom, there was a neighbor who got it and outgrew it several years later, and my mom bought it used from them and gave it to me for my birthday, and it worked 100%. Just the box was damaged because it had been opened.
I remember at Christmas as being perilous, meaning something great could happen, but also if you're one of 6,
wow,
you can get lost in the show. And Santa's busy because he's working at the microbiology lab, and sometimes Santa has a short fuse. And anyway, I remember once we had this tradition where we're asleep and Santa would put the gifts. They weren't wrapped, but they would just each one of the kids in the family has a piece of furniture in the living room. This is where my parents still live, mind you. Wow. In Brookline, Mass. And there's a different piece of furniture, and Luke's toys would go on a chair, and most people had a chair, and then mine just arbitrarily became, there's this long white couch.
Mm-hmm.
Now think about it. Everything looks tiny and insignificant on a long white couch. And Santa's busy and there's a lot to do. So there were years where Santa's like, okay, I got Neil covered. I got Luke. I got Jane. I got Justin. And then he's down there and he's throwing stuff around. He's like, I got to get back to the lab. I think that germ got out. And then, I've been working on something called COVID. I hope it's.
Oh, shit.
But anyway, that was my dad. And anyway,
What's his name?
Thomas.
Oh, okay.
And so he would be. There was one Christmas where I think he was throwing everything around, and then he got to the giant white couch, and there was some socks, and there wasn't much. So I'll never forget that was the year he got a toboggan, like for everyone to share. But I come running downstairs, and I see this giant toboggan filling out the couch, and I'm like, I got a toboggan? This is insane. And I'll never forget, my dad went, interesting. Santa told me on his way out that it's actually for everyone. And I went, huh? But it's like the one thing that's on my couch. And he went, Santa said you kind of get to be in charge of it, but it's for everyone. And I'm like, first of all, you're having a legal conversation with Santa about ownership. And then how are you in charge of a toboggan? I get to decide who sits where. But hey, I got over it. I'm 60 and bitching about it on a podcast.
That
really
tracks
your
with the
rosebud.
socialism of 1970s Massachusetts.
Oh my God.
though.
And I still, to this day, when I go home and that white couch is still there.
Oh, really?
And I'll still look at it and I'll be like, fucking toboggan. There was a toboggan and then like some Post-its and some socks.
Oh,
my
no.
God.
And an electric blanket. And then, it's like, what kind of... Anyway, enough about
Oh,
me.
man.
I'm just saying we all suffer.
I remember one year I did get a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons books.
And you talk about this.
Yeah.
You
I
talk
got
about
the
this in the
Dungeons
special. Yeah.
Dragons books, but unfortunately it came with all these dice and the maps and everything like that, but it didn't come with any friends. And that is the greatest oversight of the TSR company was that, kids who are into this stuff
Right.
are lonely.
We have some similarities in that we both, not just coming from Massachusetts, but I think we have certain similar personalities in terms of kinds of things that we find funny and.
Oh yes.
But
Old-timey speak.
we love old-timey speak.
That was the big thing from the abbreviating the stage joke is that I used the word ne'er-do-well, and I live in Harlem, and I never thought I would get recognized in Harlem because I'm one of the few white Jewish men who live up there, and a man saw me on the street last month, and that thing came out 7 or 8 years ago,
Right.
and the man saw me and he yelled, ne'er-do-well.
Isn't that great, though?
It was the greatest thing that ever. I don't get recognized very much in general, but when I do, oh man, does it feel good. It's probably irritating at your level, but at my level, it's still like
I don't ever.
It's very
no,
warm.
I'm,
really?
I'm not irritated.
That's great. That's great to hear.
I like, and you say, I'd be irritated by questions. I'm not.
Okay.
I like talking to people almost, and Sona is often with me when I'm out in the world, and Blay is too. But often people will start chatting with me, and I'll keep chatting with them, and then they say I have to go. I'll go with you. We can talk more about comedy.
I do these meet and greets after the show, and sometimes I'll connect with the people, and it's like I have to go back to a hotel room and be by myself.
Yes, it's time.
It's like turning back into Bill Bixby after being the Incredible Hulk. That feeling.
You've talked about, I can kind of relate to this. You have kind of an OCD about honesty.
Oy.
And I had this too growing up, which is there's a lot of it was very important to my mom that we all be thought of well.
Yeah.
And I love my mom, and she's just superhuman person who did so much when we were growing up to keep this madness together. And I idolize her. At the same time, she always wanted people, when people came over, she would put on a little bit of a, well, yes, now come here. She'd become because she wanted everyone to think that we're not low class Irish. We are lace curtain Irish, and it was a whole thing. But she would say things, and we would all notice, like, what happened to Mom? And it was important. And I remembered it was always very important to me. And I think it's one of the reasons I got into comedy. I always had to say, nope, that's not true.
Oh my gosh,
that's not.
Yes.
And one of the things
and my mother would give me the stare. When
I would
Oh,
get that too.
Yeah.
And she would. One of the things I remembered is we'd all be gathered around, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and we have company over. Or anytime company was coming in, we got to sit in the dining room, and people are sitting around. She'd say, and now, of course, we always say grace. And I'd say, we only do this when company's here.
Oh, no.
And she would say, that's not true.
Oh, that's so good.
But I mean, I just couldn't not. I had to always say, that's not true.
Yeah, the dishonesty. Part of it is I grew up always feeling God was watching me all the time. Just because of I just took everything everybody told me seriously, so that I would act up in the house. I would stub my toe on the corner of a counter, and my that doesn't make sense. Not a counter, a cabinet, and my mother would say, "See, God punished you," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Instead of thinking, "Gosh, what a prick," I would think, "Oh, I better not act up."
I used to think, doesn't God have other things to do? Hey, Goldman just got out of line. I'll give him the old stubberoo. Yeah. Hey, what about that tsunami that just wiped out 3,000 people in Indonesia? Oh, I was dealing with Goldman.
And then I went to Hebrew school. I don't know if you went to Catholic.
I went to Hebrew school.
Yeah.
I was immediately asked to leave. No, I went to Catholic instruction, actually, with Brian Kiley.
Oh, that's so interesting. I would go to Hebrew school, and they would say, well, this is a sin, adultery and coveting, being jealous and bearing false witness. And are there any others? Yes, leaving the finger paints out. Is that also a sin that God will smite you for? But playing with clay without permission. That's another one that God punished me for. It was just the things I was learning in Hebrew school were not matching up with the little I had learned at home.
Am I correct that there's probably really not much difference between, if you're a kid, Hebrew instruction, and if you're a kid, Catholic instruction? Meaning they're both leaning on guilt, beware, watch out, someone's watching.
Yes.
Because that was my experience. Yeah. And then the few times that, well, actually, I grew up in Brookline. More of my friends were Jewish than were Irish Catholic.
Sure.
And I would sense that, wait a minute, this is supposed to be a completely alien religion. Yeah. This is all sounding pretty familiar to me.
Totally.
Catholic and these people are really funny.
Yes.
So there's all this like transference.
Yeah. And also the presentation is very similar. The ornate, the rituals, the churches are gorgeous, and many of these synagogues, especially the older ones, are so impressive in terms of architecture and the stained glass and everything like that. It's very, very interesting. But I went to a Catholic college. I went to Boston College, and I befriended some Jesuit priests, and they would say, yeah, there's a lot of intersection in our liturgy. Not so much the words as much as the ideas and the where the stresses are, which is on a very angry, judgmental God. But as a lot of fathers do when they have a son late in life, they mellow, and that's where I see Protestantism is sort of a mellower God, not as likely to smite after having Jesus.
Yeah, the Protestants have it's a God that's like wearing loafers and Dockers. And
it's Pete Holmes.
Yeah, it's Pete Holmes. It's Pete Holmes is God, as opposed to like Bill Burr is the Catholic God. I like figuring out religion just using stand-ups.
Oh my gosh!
Specifically Northeastern stand-ups. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out who would be the Jewish comedian God. It wouldn't be Crystal. It wouldn't be no, too light.
Lewis Black. I just got it. It's Lewis Black, because he'd be saying things like, "Do I get this straight? Let me understand something. You the post office wants me to spend money on a stamp, and then I spend money on the stamp. You know, that kind of thing.
Wow, that's good.
You know what I used to do?
The Gomorrans and the Sodomites are having blowjobs.
Yeah. You know what I used to do? I used to do a Lewis. I like Lewis Black, but I used to do a Lewis Black impression where he's because his whole thing was getting worked up over something that's kind of small, and I used to do a Lewis Black impression about things where he's worked up about something you should be worked up about. So it'd be like, have you heard about this thing called kidnapping? Someone takes a child. They take a child who is the only son or daughter of these loving parents, and they take them away, and they say you'll only see them alive again if we get money. And it would really make me laugh because I'd be like, yeah. Just him getting mad about stuff he should get mad about.
Kylie used to always tell me, he would say, you have no idea how funny the meetings are in Conan's office. And initially I was skeptical. I thought...
you said, Conan's not that funny? How can
no, I said, yeah, everybody's going to laugh at their boss, right? And then I just started listening to the podcast, but also he would tell me the stories, the bits you would do, which was one of my favorites was the dirty Brian Kiley.
I would do Brian. It's called Brian Kiley at the Apollo. Now Brian Kiley, again, as you know, tells really clean jokes, and he wears creased chinos and a blue
and schmaltzless, puts
nothing on it. The jokes are just,
they're just perfect. You could read them. They're beautiful, but also his character is
perfect,
so mild-mannered.
But Kiley, and he'd stand up there, and he's very Catholic, and he tells these wonderful jokes, and he always is doing this with his hands. He doesn't move his body, really, at all when he's up on stage.
Yeah.
And so I started doing Kiley at the Apollo, where he's up there, and he's like, hi, everybody. Good to see you. I'm Brian Kiley, and the other day I'm going down on this... bitch. And I'm eating her out. And he's still the same mannerisms. And then I work my way, down to her asshole, And I start licking out her asshole.
Oh, God.
And then I'm like, bitch, you've got to wash your ass. And he's killing. Murdering. But then he goes backstage, kills, and he goes, well, that's my time, thank you. And then he goes backstage, and I would always have him sit in a little iron chair and read a Truman biography quietly. And then someone would come and go, get out there again. They want more of you. And he'd be like, oh, okay. And he'd close it, and he'd go back out there, and he'd go, the other day, I'm whipping this guy with whatever. It's just fun.
It's weird to hear you even talk like that.
I know.
So
but the thing
funny.
is, when I'm channeling Kiley, so in meetings, I would just do these bits that had nothing to do what was going to be nothing. Yeah. The whole rule was none of this helps the show. None of this can be on the show. None of it can help the show. And I would do these long, and especially in the post-show meeting, if a guest hadn't been good or if a bit hadn't worked, I could do 40 minutes destroying, it was really fun. That's the thing I missed. The thing I missed the most.
He said there were 4 or 5 shows the day of the show.
I would do shows before the show, and then the show was like, oh, we got to go do that show, huh? The one that people see. Well, that's no fun. I want to do Kiley at the Apollo. So you've got to wash your ass.
So perfect.
And he's looking side to side.
Perfect.
And he's doing this with his. Because you got to see Brian Kiley's a great comic, but just the idea that he would do any joke like this is just, right? It's just insane.
Yes.
It's just funnier because I know who Brian Kiley is, and I hope people go and look at his comedy online.
Go look at Brian Kiley.
Yeah.
How much of how different it is, what you're saying.
I took a shit the other day. And when you take a shit, and then at the same time, and then it's just it gets incredibly insane. I would, and when I would channel this stuff, I would be saying stuff that I don't even think about, but suddenly it's coming out because I'm doing Kiley at the Apollo, which gave me
perfect.
I love it.
So much joy. Uh-oh, Blay, what's the matter?
I hate all of this.
Why?
I mean, I love it, but imagining Kylie do it, it's crazy because he is the most. I think he might be the most straight-laced person I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just now I have the mental image of him doing.
Also,
it.
you know what I always do? I would always add him driving home in a very small, sensible, square car.
Yeah.
And just, and then going home and pulling the blanket up to his chin to go to sleep. And then the phone rings.
With a nightcap.
With a nightcap. And then the phone rings and it's the club going, they're screaming for you. They want more. And so he gets out, puts on his blazer, gets back in his little car, goes back there, and then goes out and becomes this other person.
Yeah, I picture him with a pipe carousel.
Yeah,
with all the pipes. And the other thing is that he's the person who reads the most long books, like Robert Caro, those LBJ books
that are the person. One of the people.
Really?
Yeah. He and I have that same affliction.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I was gonna. That was one of the questions I was gonna ask you. What is your? Are you a big reader?
Yeah. Well, I read a ton of history, and Kylie was the same thing. But we were always both like, Kylie and I are just very similar in that we're these two Irish Catholic guys from Boston who, if you see a picture of us on a beach where everyone else is in a thong and playing pickleball, we're the ones reading books that weigh about 80 pounds, and they have a swastika on the cover because it's about... the rise and fall of the
Third Reich.
The rise and fall of the Third Reich.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Annotated.
Yeah. Annotated.
Yeah.
And we're like picking out things that are wrong.
Oh wow, you just went up in my book.
There you go.
Of people who read books.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
I'd like to think.
Did you like that Robert Caro documentary? Have you seen that?
I'm in it.
Oh yes.
You fucker.
I'm sorry. I got confused because you were also in the.
You thought that was Dennis. You thought that was Dennis Leary going on and on about Caro.
The Larry, the Gary Shandling documentary.
Yeah, these days everyone's in every documentary.
Yeah, and
I'm in documentaries I shouldn't be in about like sex trafficking in Sweden. And Conan O'Brien went.
You should be in that one.
Well, I was cleared. I want to let our listeners know that you and I have been friends for a long time.
It's absolutely accurate.
You would come on my show and bring me absolute delight. You would make me laugh like a school child.
I love this. School children giggle a lot.
Yes, they giggle. I was a little. You would reduce me to a little Bavarian schoolboy chuckling as I licked my marzipan.
I knew you would say marzipan.
I knew you. And I was so happy when you were on the show. And then when you come on the podcast, you bring me absolute joy. Like I've just had a brisk walk in my leather shorts in the Alps.
Oh, that's like a Lipton iced tea poured over your eyebrows.
Well, okay, that's just stupid.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Welcome to me, Conan.
Yeah. Welcome to you.
Yeah.
How have you been? First of all, Flula, I did embrace you.
You did
out
deeply.
in the hallway,
yes.
And you are made of pure mahogany. You must work out constantly.
Lots of pledge being sprayed all over my shoulders.
No, I didn't mean you're being waxed down like mahogany. I mean you are rock hard. You're
okay.
No. I didn't mean anything dirty or sexual. I know that you're still impotent, but you.
Absolutely.
I'm saying your shoulders.
Yes.
Your lats. Your pecs.
Yeah.
It was like hugging an armoire.
Like an awkward Lego. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Conan, I am bored. Have you heard of boredom?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So when this occurs, I just take things that weigh more than me and I put them up and down and up and down.
Up and down and up and down.
Yeah, the gravity.
Yes. And so you do a lot of working out. I know you have a trainer. We've talked about this before.
I've trained Paolo. He's Italian. I don't understand him. He doesn't understand me. It's a very confusing United Nations.
Well, the important thing is you and your Italian trainer get along.
We do.
And is he really responsible for you being in this shape?
Absolutely. I'm an idiot, Conan, as you have learned. I don't know what to ingest and what to outgest. I heard that you also like bicycles.
I like bicycles, yes.
Yes,
I like to look at them. I don't like to. I've never gotten on one.
Is this a fact?
No, it's a lie. I was making what we in America call a joke. I think you call it a Laubenstiegen.
Yeah, Laubenstiegen. Yeah.
So I like to ride a bicycle. I do. Yes.
Great. Just like the Queen song. Yeah.
Yes, I like to. Just like the Queen song. Yeah. Yes. I like to get on a bicycle and I like to ride it.
Oh yes.
A friend of mine.
Yes.
A shout out to my friend Brad. Told me
Brad.
No one's ever had a bad day on a bicycle, and it's right. I'm always happy when I'm riding a bicycle.
What about the people that have been inadvertently struck by trucks?
Oh, yes. He did say I remember Brad saying this, with the exception
Yes.
of those who've been killed riding a bike.
Yes,
he
of
did
course.
say that.
It's a small exception, but
Yeah.
other than this, Brad Pitt, it was Brad Pitt, correct?
I don't like to get it out there that I ride regularly with Brad Pitt.
Yes, yes.
But I ride regularly with Brad Pitt.
Wow, yes, yes. Mr.
Yeah,
and
not
Mrs.
just
Smith.
a couple of us triple A-listers. You've heard of A-listers.
Yes,
Brad
the
Pitt's
restaurant.
Leo DiCaprio, your Conan O'Brien.
Of course.
Your Eve Plum.
Oh, who?
Well, she was on the original Brady Bunch.
Oh, wonderful.
I just said original like there was been another one.
Has there been a reboot?
No, there was not a reboot. It's the only thing they haven't rebooted.
Oh.
No, they made a movie.
They made a couple movies.
But yeah. Anyway, what I'm saying is
Yes.
someone like me who's in the highest echelons
Absolutely.
of celebrityhood.
Single-digit IMDb.
Yes. When I start to ride my bicycle,
Yes.
other triple A celebrities show up alongside me.
It's like Forrest Gump, except you're riding a bicycle and the people following you are also celebrities.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. That's a very good image. That's exactly what it's right.
Are you wearing a shirt that says, "Have a nice day"?
No, I'm not. No,
Okay.
you took it too far.
That was far enough.
Yeah. What is your diet like? Because you're one of the healthiest men I know. This morning, what did you have?
I had some chicken,
Mhm.
and then also had some mashy potatoes, and also.
Why do you call them mashy potatoes?
What do you name those?
We call them mashy mushmushes.
Well, see, it's more, I would say, efficient. As a German, we just say mashy potatoes, as opposed to mashy mush potatoes.
Okay. I was pulling your leg.
Stop it.
Wow.
Yeah, down, boys.
No, we just say mashed potatoes here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard of the song "Mashed Potato" by the Wiggles?
No, I haven't.
Mashed potato.
No, my children are grown, so I haven't listened to the Wiggles in a very long time.
Adults can also listen to the Wiggles.
There's actually a warning on the label that says no.
Oh,
not for anyone over 4.
I don't follow
You'll
those.
go into a blind rage.
Oh, perfect. Just start hitting bicyclists.
So you get up in the morning. I want to
Yes.
hear about your regimen.
Oh, I wake up, I ingest calories. I move very quickly, I ingest more calories. I think about Conan O'Brien, WWCBD. What would Conan O'Brien do? And then I do those things.
Okay, so I know you've been a huge fan of mine for a long time.
A very large fan. I once wrote a song about you and Andy called Conandy.
Oh, really?
I did.
You did or you didn't?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how does that song go? Can I hear any of it?
I need to clear it with, what's it called? Cap ass?
Ass cap?
Yeah, and then I will send it to you.
But you wrote it.
Yes.
Oh, but so
I'll send it to you. You can mail it. We can play it right now.
Okay.
What did you think?
I thought it was fantastic.
Me as well.
I was
beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
a good song.
It's like that wardrobe, a triple banger. Yeah.
But now we have to
Star
pay more
wagons.
money to Flula. I think we have to pay money.
I refuse money. I don't work $4.
Really?
Yeah, I get paid in biscuits.
Biscuits? Little biscuits?
Yeah, have you had Bojangles in North Carolina, a chain that sells very delicious Southern biscuits?
Okay, it's just biscuit. It's not biscuit. It's just biscuit.
There's a U inside this, Conan.
Yes, I know, but we call it a silent U, a U that has been bullied into silence.
I will never be silent.
Okay. So you get up in the morning, you eat, I think it's chicken.
Yes, no biscuits.
No biscuits. You don't eat any carbs.
Who does that?
Well, I'll eat carbs all the time.
I eat them sometimes, but when I have a photo shoot with Paolo Mascitti coming up, then I cannot eat those carbohydrates.
See, yes. You know, I have to tell you, you put out a calendar.
I do a
every
Flalenda,
year,
yes.
Flulaborg's calendar,
Yes.
and they're available, I believe, online. But you always send me one, and
Yes.
you always find a way to be, I would say, shirtless for most months.
Nipples are exposed.
Like December, January, February, shirtless.
Extra hot.
Yeah. Yes. No. I use the nipples come out of the calendar, and I hang my shirts on them.
Oh, you can also use them to squeeze lemons.
Yes, and adjust your radio dial.
If you have some radio, yes, serious.
My point is, you're very proud of your body, are you not?
No.
Why? Is this self-loathing? Because some people that have a body like yours are very self-loathing.
Listen, you have a delicious voice, and so you use it to make dollars and to make many, many podcasts. I have a body that someone gave to me. I have 0 credit, so I have to utilize it. I have to prostitute myself.
Okay. How is your love life going, Flula?
It's non-existent. I once dated a whole note, a techno whole note.
A what? A techno whole note?
Whole note? Whole notes of 4 beats of music.
You've dated 4 beats of music.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I will send you my Flalender, my next one, if you want.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
I treasure them.
Yeah,
I treasure
great.
them.
I want to hear more about this whole note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Gourley. That's exactly, you always get me off track, but Matt's here to say, wait a minute, let's double down.
Return to the, it's Gourley?
It's Gourley.
Oh, why'd you
I know
say
there's
it like,
a U in there.
Yeah, why is that you? Once again.
It would be gourley.
Gourley.
Go for it. Yeah.
Matthew Gourley?
I'll take it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Matthias Gourley.
Matthias Gourley.
Yeah, Matthias.
Yes,
yeah,
on the
yeah.
ones and twos.
Yeah.
So you dated a whole note.
Yes.
Explain how that works.
We established a romantic connection, and then we lasted for 4 measures, and then I said, and then I moved on.
What note was it?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, in E flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3rd position on the trombone.
Yes.
Treble clef. Yes.
I could have warned you against an E
Bass
flat.
clef. Excuse me. Yeah.
So, okay, you are a monastic. You are celibate. You are
Yes,
not.
I'm Heloise, not Abelard. Correct. Yes.
Okay. So, what do you do for fun after your workout? What do you do? What does Fluleborg do?
I like to do Klimmzüge, which are push-ups, and then I also like to make jogging. Have you ever made jogging?
Listen, I just said after your workout.
Yeah.
After your workout, you do push-ups and jogging. That's not after your workout.
Oh, you have never followed David Goggins on Instagram. Stay hard, Conan.
Oh, okay. So you do even after your workout, you do more
I do
exercise.
minor workouts. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you do when you're not working out? That's, I guess, the right question.
Oh, I like to sleep. Also, like to look at the sky and also at other items in the world.
Okay. So looking at sky.
Yes.
Have you noticed anything about the sky recently?
It contains clouds on occasion, and other occasions has no clouds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just writing this- just writing this-
cumulonimbus clouds.
Writing
Very
this
good.
down, and I will send this to Scientific American.
And
This
also
is good to know.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, also strato, cumulus, cumulonimbus, also very nice cloud. Cirrus, a little too wavy for my taste.
Okay. So you're a cloud critic, as they say.
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. And then you notice other objects. What objects have you been noticing lately?
I've noticed your delicious smile and wonderful haircut, Conan O'Brien.
Well, I look, a lot of people are in love with my hair.
Yes.
Um,
How do you style it? Do you wake up and it is like this, or is there a man and or a woman that arranges it?
No one else does it. I figured this out myself a long time ago. I use various oils and resins, plus a little bit of mayonnaise.
Oh.
And then I work it in there, and then I cook it in a little kiln that just bakes my hair.
Hellman's?
For 40 minutes.
40?
Yes.
Hellman's or Kraft?
Well, I don't like to name Hellman's.
Thank you. Yeah, sponsor, shout out.
No, it's definitely Hellman's is better.
Obviously, Hellman's.
You really want whole eggs in there. But then I get this delicious pastry on top of my head. It seems to give people delight. And so it's a small price for me to pay to give other people joy.
It sounds like a large price, depending on the amounts of mayonnaise and croissants you purchase.
That's true. But, I do it. I also think I maybe do it to draw attention away from parts of my body that maybe I'm not thrilled with.
Speak to me.
Well, I'm just saying I have beady little rat eyes.
That's incorrect.
Look, it is true. Look at me looking around. Beady little rat eyes.
Delicious.
And I've got this eye vein under my eye. And then I've got these thin lips. Like, what happened? What happened to that guy? Did he chew on a grenade to save his regiment and his lips blew off?
Yes, episode 2, Band of Brothers.
Yes. And so we hate to tell you what happened to me. Your lips are gone. No! And so I think the hair is a way to draw people away from my features that I'm not as proud of.
Very confusing. You are a beautiful man. I love all of the items you have described in a fully platonic, non-sexual way.
Oh, well, maybe we can nudge that over to sexual.
Let's give it a try.
Hey, boss, do you want to take a voicemail or two?
Well, actually, this is awkward.
Yeah, I noticed something.
Flula hasn't left.
Oh, yes.
Usually when the interview's over, Flula,
Yeah.
People
Mingle. Hang out.
No, they have things to do. They're big stars.
Oh.
And they say, I've got to go.
Oh, no.
You did this last time, too. I don't know if you
I know.
remember.
Do you remember this?
I've done this podcast before?
You've done this podcast before,
So-
and you didn't leave then either.
Oh, wonderful.
you have not. I mean, you must have something you've got to do right now.
Not in this moment. In about 2 to 3 hours, I will need to urinate and then also have a snack.
Do you schedule everything in your life?
Yes, it's all on my timers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you don't even go by bladder pressure for urine?
No, I have a Pomodoro. Do you know the Pomodoro effect?
No.
You set a timer every 28 minutes, and that's when you do a new thing. So,
What
Okay.
new thing? What do you mean? What?
well, in 28 minutes, will we be finished at
Yes,
that moment?
definitely.
Then I will return to my automobile, and then I will stare at the sky, aforementioned callback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just saying that what you're doing right now is probably not great for your career.
Did you get it, though? Did you get it?
No, I don't even listen to you anymore. I don't listen to you.
okay.
I just look at your powerful mandibles
Oh, sorry
and your
again.
fierce wolf-like eyes. and listen to your voice.
Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like a chocolate maker yelling at me. And what I'm trying to say is that it creates a good impression when I say, okay, thanks a lot for being here,
Yes.
President Obama. And then he has to get up and go because everyone imagines him having big things to do.
Writing bills,
thank you so
etc.
much, Jane Fonda. And
Yes.
she gets up and she runs out because she's Jane Fonda. She has a lot to do.
Yes.
You, by sticking around,
Yes.
are
Like a
kind of-
fungus.
you're creating this illusion, and maybe it's not an illusion, that you really have nothing to do.
No, it's a illusion of staying power, of consistency, of always there, can't stop, won't stop. 1960s Celtics. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay. Yes. Well, we were all just thinking about the 1960 Celtics.
Definitely.
So
Shout out to Drew Heinsohn.
you're making my brothers very happy right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hey, Red Auerbach, huh?
Oh, nice. Are they mass holes?
Okay. Let's. Yes.
I was recently taught this word.
Okay. Yes, they are. They are mass holes, my
Oh,
brothers.
nice. Great.
Have you been to Boston?
Yes, I've been to Boston. I've been to where are you from?
It's just Boston. It's not Boston.
Boston.
No,
Boston.
yeah. It's. Did you like it there?
I did like it very much. I enjoyed it. I liked the Fleet Center was very enjoyable to see. And you are from Boston?
Right outside Brookline, Massachusetts.
Oh, I've heard that's the tunt of Massachusetts. Is that correct?
It's not the tunt of Massachusetts.
Also.
It's a lovely little town that's right on the Boston line. You can walk into Boston in seconds, or if you get in trouble, you can quickly leave Boston and get into Brooklyn.
Yeah, in and out.
Tiptoe out. I used to do that a lot when I'd get in trouble.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, back in the day. I was quite a naughty boy.
I like it. What did you do?
Oh, I'd stay late at the library. Yeah, and sometimes I'd take out a book and I'd turn it in a day late.
Oh, overdue, baby.
Yeah. Every now and then I'd get a free sample of an ice cream that I didn't intend to buy in the first place.
You sneaky sucker, small spoon.
So yeah, I was a real wild man back in the day. But it is nice to have you here.
Thank you.
And awkward as well.
Yeah, it's because no guest has ever been in the third act segment, and you somehow have done it twice, both times you were on.
Oh,
Right.
I'm like that villain that was murdered in Act 2, but then maybe not murdered hard enough.
Right.
So then
Yeah.
he's back.
Yeah.
Like a slasher that gets back up off
Yes,
the floor.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry again.
Yeah. So it's funny that we're bringing this up and you're not even becoming self-conscious and leaving now.
No,
You're
yeah.
still sticking around.
Why don't we try asking him to leave?
Oh, if you just said this, I would leave. Yes, of course.
Flula, I think you should go.
Oh, okay, great. Everyone, wait, great to meet you. Bye-bye.
What? Oh.
Oh, I didn't really
It
think
was
he'd
that
go.
simple. No,
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Oh, wow.
He
That's-
really is leaving.
Wow, he's getting his... Wait, why is he getting separate shirts?
Yeah, why does
Oh, this is a sunshine. Wait, you've asked a question? Oh,
Yes.
So he's back.
He's back.
So shirts are important to cover your body because no matter how many creams you wipe on your face and arms, you can still receive sunburns.
But you already have a shirt.
Layers. Layers are for players, Matt.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's long sleeve?
Long sleeve.
I see.
And a hood.
Oh, okay.
It's a hood.
Yes.
A hoot is something else. An
No,
owl.
hood.
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 Hoot.
Hood.
Hood.
Hood, let the dogs out.
Okay, don't. No, a hood did not let the dogs out.
Oh.
Okay. You where are you going?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, now
you gotta stay.
Now you have
Sorry.
to stay
Yeah.
because we were going to do something, but we don't have time to do that now. So you might as well stick around till the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll be.
Maybe we could take a voicemail from you.
I would love it.
Okay, send in a voicemail. Hey, let's check. There's a voicemail now. I'm told from a Flula Borg. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
And he has a question for us. Let's talk to
Eduardo, play it for us.
Hey, everyone. It's me, Flula Borg. How are you doing today?
Okay, that doesn't seem like there's any
That's
other
a
sound
shitty
waves in the
voicemail.
end.
That is a
Yeah.
terrible voicemail. Usually
But-
they ask a question. Let's see if Flula Borg left another one.
Hey, everyone. It's my second message. Apologies for the first message, which was a question. I wanted to see how everyone is doing today and also tonight. And I will
Oh,
see.
for God's sake! He didn't learn from the first voicemail.
There's a third. Hold on.
Oh, there's a third.
Yeah,
Let's
there's a
check it
third.
out.
Hello, Conan. It's me, Flula. I just wanted to confirm our recording of the podcast tomorrow at 1300 hours and to just confirm the payment, which is 13 biscuits. Do you have those?
Okay. Yes, we'll give him biscuits.
Hey,
when
it's
he-
me. I'm still on the. I forgot. I have one more question.
Oh, he's still on. I can't believe I spoke. There was a long gap in that
Yeah,
voicemail.
it's
And
like
guess
he
what? There's a
planned it.
gap every time I talk, which
Yeah.
is weird.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say, everyone, bye-bye to you and have a very nice day. Do you get it?
Is that the end of it?
It is. And then what's so weird is that he's still here.
No, he's still here.
Yeah.
Hello.
Flula,
Yes.
I asked you to do a simple improv
What was it?
where you leave a voicemail that's just like, oh, Conan, tell us what's your favorite pet, and it allows us to fill out the segment.
Oh.
But you couldn't even do that.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's too late. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Hello, Conan. It's me, Flula. I would like to know what is your favorite pet so you can fill out the segment.
I guess it would be my dog. I love
Oh,
my
I
dog.
love
You also
that.
have cats, so you play favorites?
Yeah, I like dogs better.
Oh, I'm a cat
Yeah.
guy.
No, I hate cats or tons.
So we went to Berlin
Yes.
with you.
We did.
And well, I mean, you really kind of took us to Berlin
Well, yes, a little bit. I
to
invited.
show us your Berlin.
I showed you my Berlin on other items as well. Reference to my testicles. Yes.
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 And penis. Don't sell
Also,
your penis
yes,
short.
I've never. Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
look. I want that to be clear. I didn't look out of respect to
Thank you.
I
Eyes up
did
here.
just because lighting is important to me.
Mhm.
And
Shadows.
I want to make sure everything was properly.
Yes, like one of the
Showcased.
Renaissance
I saw you notice like
sculptors.
Flula
Yeah.
has a third leg, and then
Right.
you looked up, you realized, oh no,
There
just
were-
merely a shadow.
There are a lot of peni on that beach.
Oh.
We went to a nude beach. And
It was mostly peanut. I didn't see as many naked women.
V guys, Vi guys,
No, yeah.
Vi guys.
Vagi.
How do you pluralize it? Vaginae?
Is that the norm with nude beaches? Like, is there a preponderance of males?
More peni than
Yeah, more
vaginae?
penis than vaginas.
I think so. It's probably
Yeah.
most are sausage parties.
Right.
I would think.
Yes, yes.
Schnitzel parties.
As well, when in Germany it's a bratwurst party. But yes.
Bratwurst, yes.
Yes. So yeah, more bratwurst than vahujis, whatever we're saying now.
Then
yes.
Pretzels.
The pretzels. Yes, the folded pretzels. The
That comes
calzones.
later.
Yeah. Yes.
If things work out.
Hey, whoa. Things did not work out. Just so everyone knows. Yes.
Still a
That was the
Yeah.
narrator. Yeah.
Yes, I took you. I invited Conan when I met him and you guys the first time on the show.
I would very much like to go to Germany.
Excellent.
So maybe I could come to Germany with you.
I will join you and you will join me. We will be like a three-legged sack race, but with no sack, and it's not a race. We will take our time.
I just thought I would say it
Yeah.
and then never see.
You didn't think anyone would follow
No,
up on that.
No.
Oh, this was the first and last time I would ever speak with Conan O'Brien. I was convinced, yes.
Yeah, because you would probably invited a lot of other people to Germany. before
Everyone
that.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's your ploy. On
That is-
it's
yes.
a smart. You never know who's going to take you up on it.
That's my ice break, That's how I do it. Come with me to Düsseldorf. And no one.
And you're it's sort of a game of chicken because you're like, well, I at least got the credit for offering, and they're not going to take me up on
And
it.
then no one feeds me chicken. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, you hope
That's
for
how
it.
you played. Yeah.
Yeah.
But right on the air, he was like, "Yeah, I'd love to go with you." It was an instant match.
It was a deep match. Yes, it was a bing
Yes.
bing. We both swiped the correct direction.
Yes, correct.
Yes. And then you joined as well. It was very
Yes.
fun.
Yes.
We both got to go. That was one of my favorite trips of the travel
Of
shows
the
we've done
travel
so far.
shows.
Yes.
I loved going to Berlin.
Berlin is a really fun city. There's so much going on.
Oh, I agree.
And
Delicious
really
foods.
cool people. Yeah, delicious food.
Yeah.
Angular haircuts.
Very angular. Yes.
Well, yeah, so we did a Schuhplattler remote, and
Right.
I
Yes.
think I didn't realize at the time, but you grew up doing Schuhplattler,
Correct. Yes, as
and
a
that's
child.
a dance, a cultural dance.
A cultural dance, sure.
Can you
it's-
describe Schuhplattler?
Yeah, it's like the Running Man of early Bavaria.
Oh,
So, except there's less running, more hopping, lots of slapping, hands in the air like you just don't care, and then you slap both knees and buttocks and
you
other.
sometimes slap your feet
Yes.
like a hacky sack.
Hacky sacky, yes, you may touch other people's. Be careful to not hit the peni or the vagina, but you can hit in those general regions as well.
Yeah.
And then lots of polka music is playing.
Okay.
And what do you wear for that?
Anything you like, but also only lederhosen.
Okay.
But anything under the leader.
Yes, anything that's
Yeah.
freedom. Freedom underneath.
That's where the freedom comes.
That's correct.
And is that why? Because lederhosen seem like they might be a little bit protective in the crotch area, because it's leather, it's stiff leather.
You mean like there's a condom built in?
Well, I guess I mean that seems like the right clothing to wear if you're going to get slapped on
on the crotch.
Yes, of course. Yes, if you hit a cow's hide versus if you hit nylon,
yes,
one will hurt and bruise your clementines, and the other one will protect those.
A shock absorber. Yeah,
that's correct. Yes.
Yeah, so sort of safety.
Safety
garment.
first. That's how we do it. This is how we do it. Montel Jordan. Hello.
So is there a limited shelf life for shoe plot? Like, do they get groin injuries? And
you're
have
asking,
to drop out?
is there like a Kareem
like
Abdul-Jabbar that played 20 seasons of Shoe Plattler? Everyone else is like 3 to 5 years.
Yes, exactly.
Emmett Smith running back. Yes.
Before you become sterile.
Free agency.
Yeah, that's correct. Oh, it's
like
very
go
dirty.
From Munich to Düsseldorf.
Oh, absolutely. The Innsbruck Bling Blongs.
Yes.
Steal everyone. They're such poachers.
The Bling Blongs.
The Bling Blongs. Yeah, there's an umlaut somewhere. No one tells you where. We invite you to gas.
The umlaut is coming from inside the building.
That's correct. Yes, I know what you umlauted last summer.
The phrase. Just going back to you inviting Conan.
Oh, sure.
Did you really think that was going to happen?
Of course not.
No,
I truly did think I would be escorted middle of the taping away from the show for making no sense, and then referencing
slapped with a restraining order.
Immediately slapped somewhere with something. Yes, of course.
And had you spent a lot of time? I know you're obviously from Germany and raised here. Had you spent a lot of time specifically in Berlin?
The wonderful thing is I don't know Berlin at all. It's like if you ask a man from Tulsa to then say, "Hey, show me Manhattan."
Right.
What? Okay, I don't know the Met. Which one? The baseball team? Nobody knows. It was
did you have to study up?
Oh, I Googled. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good.
Just like a good tutor. Be one chapter ahead of the student.
Exactly.
That's all I was. Yeah. But it was fun. I can speak the language and no one else could speak. Well, I can barely, we know I have limitations, just as a human person. But I was able to communicate.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Do you have questions for Flula? I mean, I'm opening the floor.
I mean, I guess I just have maybe more advice.
To me?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love this.
No, not to give you advice.
I'm a
I would like to
sponge.
get advice.
Oh, okay.
I just feel like you've kind of got it figured out in some sort of cosmic way. Do you have any advice?
I would disagree only on his clothing choices. I don't always agree with. Flula today is dressed. What are you wearing? You're wearing a fleece that has and you have
duct tape.
Duct tape on your green pants.
Yes, and these are like chroma key green. You could do green screen on.
Yeah, that's like it's like you took a weatherman set and made
like
pants.
a reverse Ichabod Crane.
Yeah. And then you've got a fanny pack that's very strange. Is that
well, Conan, you will not remember this as you have gifted so many things to so many people, which is to include this. You gave
Did I get that for you?
One.
During the Comic Con of 2018, I joined you and we ate donuts and you gave me several fanny packs.
That's very nice of me.
It was.
Oh.
Thank you very much, and I very much appreciate this.
I didn't even realize I gave that to you.
You did.
That's a nice one.
Like a more elegant fanny pack.
That's a nice one. And I was going to say that's because you have some bad fanny packs. I'm just going to be honest.
Yes. Awful.
Like they have tigers on them and stuff. And that's actually quite tasteful and nice.
This is very nice. Yes, I very much agree with you, and I'm very grateful to you, Conan, once more. Thank you.
All right, you're being very formal about this. We didn't just sign a peace treaty. It's okay. All right.
I apologize. Conan.
Yes.
I'm wanting to make 60 minutes of haha, and I'm going to tour around the country. I would like one more piece of advice before you delete and format the hard drives of this podcast.
Well, that wouldn't be me. That would be Gourley.
Gourley, okay.
Never. This is one of my favorites.
I think it's important for you to maybe get outside because you spend so much time working out that I don't think comedy's all about observations, You look at Seinfeld. He walks around. Look at that guy. What's he doing? It's that kind of thing. Have you noticed when you go to what you want to do is you want to notice things and say, hey, have you noticed when the other day I was over there, buying a ice cream pop over at the ice cream store, and then I noticed this. Don't you hate it when they do blank and blank, and then the audience is like, oh my God, he's just like me. I don't think you can do that.
No,
because you don't go outside. You're just inside working out, listening to music from 1991.
Yeah, I just don't you hate it when they play songs from 1997?
That's your opening bit?
Well, I'm attempting.
Yeah, you can't do observational humor if you haven't gone outside your apartment.
Observing.
If you're a strange German man and you're inside your apartment lifting weights and occasionally blowing into a horn.
What? Oh, you meant, sorry, I didn't. Yep.
Yeah. You're not going to be able to do good observational comedy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I will now go outside, wear plenty of the screens, and just observe things, and then say what I have observed to people who are sitting in chairs.
Yeah, try and make it like a joke. Don't just say,
yeah.
if you noticed when you go outside, there's the parking meter, and it actually, you put the money in, and for 2 minutes, then you get it's got to be a real observation.
Oh, I thought, okay, that was
just describing what a parking meter does.
And then you say you get it.
No, don't say you get it. Don't say you get it.
I'm very excited. Conan, I feel prepared. I see an intense outline of questions that you guys wanted to ask me. What else?
I don't think we got to any of them.
You know what's so funny? Usually I have notes here about things to talk about, but with you, I think that's a waste of time.
I'm a slate
So
blank.
I threw the notes away.
I do as well. Yes.
What is there? I mean, it's ridiculous. Why would I look at notes to talk to Flula Borg?
What is the purpose?
Yeah. What is the purpose?
What is the purpose?
I agree. I don't know. We'll be right back after these massages.
No, we're not getting massages. We're not getting. Do you ever get massages, by the way?
I receive no. It's not a pleasure to me.
It's not a pleasure to have your body rubbed?
No.
Oh.
I like a light tickle, as if a feather has perhaps, again from Forrest Gump, doodly-dee-doo-doo-dee-doo-doo, and it lands on your leg. I like this.
Okay. How many times have you watched Forrest Gump?
14 times last year.
Oh, last year
The
alone.
Forrest Gump soundtrack. Bow, 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 bow.
Okay.
Bow, bow, bow. You know it.
Yeah.
Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
A couple $100.
Yeah,
Sorry about that, everyone.
Right. Keep costing us money every time you sing a song. Do me a favor. Do not sing any Led Zeppelin. We can't afford that.
Oh, so no cash.
Okay, don't. Okay.
Yep. Sorry.
All right. What do you do? What are you doing tonight? Would you and I ever go out together, the two of us?
Do you go outside and enjoy things in the evening?
Well, that's an insulting question. Of course I do.
Oh, it is a curiosity.
Don't I look like a man of the world?
Yes, of course.
Don't I look like I get outside a lot?
You are 6'5", 6'9" with the hair. Yes, of course.
Okay, so yes, I go outside. I like to go to a restaurant occasionally.
I would join you at restaurants. I would enjoy you outside in a place where clubbing is occurring, or dancing, or also staring.
Do you like sushi?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy sushi. I enjoy other things also.
Okay.
Matt Gowley, do you enjoy sushi?
I love sushi.
Yeah, great. I'm trying to incorporate everyone into this.
Oh, thank you.
I think we should go with everybody. Adam, do you like sushi?
I like sushi. Yeah.
Eduardo?
Don't care for it.
You don't like it? Then it's not. Then it can't happen.
Wow.
If Eduardo, sorry, that's how I roll. If Eduardo can't be there, I need to bring everybody here.
Just hates it.
Unanimous.
Really, you don't like sushi?
It's something about the texture of this.
The texture's the best part. The
That's why
texture's
you
like
eat it.
butter. It's like fantastic.
Maybe I haven't had the right one.
Might
Is there
be.
one you recommend?
Yes, it's beep.
Fuck sushi?
See you there. See you there with a
I love
PH.
fuck sushi.
I do too.
It's with a PH, okay? It's right around the corner from Tunt Center.
The Tunt Center for Humanitarian Causes.
Yes, of course.
It's just a wonderful.
Oh.
You know what? I'm going to make that my. Every celebrity has their.
Oh yeah.
They have
It's like your think tank.
my cause. You know,
Yes.
like please donate money to the Tunt Center.
Tunt Center, yes.
That's
I
going to
will
be
show up
mine.
Wherever you want, I will be there.
You'll be there for Tunt Center.
Yes, I will cut all those ribbons.
Okay. There's going to be no ribbons at the Tunt Center.
Why not?
Just yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's my improv style. It's just when I don't have something to go.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I do it as well.
I hope you're not deported. I think you will be soon.
Oh, it's a matter of just a few
No,
days.
I honestly think when this hits, the government's going to be on you immediately. Yeah. Why is this man here?
I wrote a techno song when I was first deported, so I will just write a second one. That's how you do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you keep getting back into the country? Because you've been deported several times.
I am. I know I may look as this, but I am very flexible. I mean, I can.
So you've just FedEx yourself into the country.
You FedEx, UPS, mainly DHL, though, just to be on brand. Yeah.
Flula, do you have any projects that are coming up that I can promote? Do you have anything?
Oh, sure. I inadvertently forgot to remove the lens caps from an entire sitcom and recorded an entire season of this. It's called Flula Makes Five, and so now we've turned it into a podcast.
Okay.
I hired my cousin Heinz to run the cameras. He's an idiot. So we have 8 episodes of a full-length sitcom called Flula Makes Five. The premise is I am living in the basement of a house, and a family of 4 does not read the fine print and purchase the house. So Flula Makes Five is Alf meets Mr. Belvedere.
Okay, that sounds, what's the word? Dreadful. It sounds dreadful.
Oh, Dreadfort. You love Game of Thrones. Ramsay Bolton. Yes. Oh, he tortured Reek.
Yes, he sure did.
That's where he did it.
Yeah, that's where he did it. Well, I just have to say it. Everybody here in the studio has what I call Bernthal fever.
Yep.
Ladies, very happy that he stopped by.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to say this. He's a man's man.
Yep.
So the men, very pleased to have him here. Eduardo.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Okay, now tell us what impressed you about John Bernthal.
Very charismatic dude.
Mm-hmm.
The veins that stuck out of this guy's neck when he was relaxed.
Yes.
Right.
He's so strong.
Taut.
That he has just veins protruding out of his neck, and it's just, they're there.
I've never heard, I'm sorry, I didn't know this was a thing, and I'm constantly, my life has been a series of humiliations, obviously. I'm constantly hearing about aspects that that women like, that a guy has, and I think, wait, we have to have that? Like, I knew, we're supposed to have broad shoulders, and we're supposed to work out and have arms and all these things that I neglected to do. But then when I hear, oh yeah, he has veins in his neck.
Yeah, well, I didn't
know. Okay,
know.
I'm sorry I don't have veins in my neck.
We didn't know that's what we wanted until we saw John Bernthal in here, and he had them. And then I was like, okay.
Not only do
Well,
I
maybe
not,
he's got high blood pressure. Should we be worried about it?
Right.
No,
What if
you know he doesn't.
Not
You
only
know
do
he
I
doesn't.
not have neck veins that show, I might not even have veins in my neck.
You know what?
You know?
I'm with you on this.
Yeah.
I went and had an MRI recently. They found no veins in my body. They said the blood is just sloshing around loosely. They did. They said I was technically more jellyfish than man. They said I'm a big bag, a 6'4" bag, and stuff is sloshing around inside.
Yeah.
And then John Bernthal comes in here with actual veins.
Yeah.
And suddenly I'm the loser?
Well, do you think John Bernthal would compare himself to a jellyfish?
No.
The things that you say sometimes, it's like, come on, dude.
Okay, well, so I understand I'm no Bernthal. I get it. I was impressed, too. I really like the guy a lot.
Yeah.
And, that's a guy, I want him at my side when the apocalypse comes.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him in action in all these different shows that he's done and all these different roles that he's done. This guy knows how to handle himself.
He's the real deal.
He's the real deal. I want him at my side.
Right.
My friends now, who I love my friends. They've been my friends for like 30 years.
Yeah.
But you know that like Rodman, Greg, if trouble breaks out, all three of us are going to faint at the same time.
You're going to faint. And then what are you going to, how are you going to, what are you going to contribute to society? Like a sitcom?
Yeah.
With no cameras?
Yeah, there'll be no cameras left and no actors. And the three of us will be in the woods making something kind of arch and witty. And we'll say, this is what we have to, and then three arrows go into us simultaneously, and
Oh my God.
we're eaten. Our protein is robbed from our bodies. My thing is that, I saw Eduardo, Blay, I saw you gazing at him. Get in here, Blay. And Blay, you were the one who, to be fair, said John Bernthal is, before he showed up, and I'm trying to psych myself up for the interview, you said, you know what, I love him. He's so the opposite of you, Conan.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Well, I love his work, obviously.
So that's why he's the opposite of me.
Well, no. But I will say, and I'm trying to think of a way to say this that's not going to come off
Just go
bad.
for it. Just go for it.
He's got such first of all, he's also very funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very chill, cool energy. He just smiles at you, and your chest just opens up. Now, I'm not saying around you that I'm not always on my guard, and you give off this energy that maybe it's like being near high voltage lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt just like I was just melted. Didn't he? Just being around him,
He's
you just
intense.
he's
Blade
just chill
did
and-
say if they were going to do a remake of Twins, they would do it with you and John Bernthal.
So instead of Schwarzenegger and DeVito, John Bernthal would be the Schwarzenegger, and I would be the DeVito.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't take that as an insult at all. I admire DeVito a great deal. I think he's a terrific performer and actor, and I'd be happy to fill his shoes.
Completely agree. I just think it's
So I am. What you're saying is that I give off an electrical charge that makes you tense, and right now you're clenching. Your whole body is clenching.
I'm nervous. You're gonna I know I'm out of arm's reach, but I'm still nervous. You're gonna come around the table.
Hold on. I'm trying to see if I could reach you. No, I can't.
I'm nervous.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. We always look towards what we're not, and I'm like looking at John Bernthal, and I'm thinking, he's got some groundedness that I don't have. I'm sure, please God, have this be true, that there are some qualities I have that John wishes he had. That's not happening right now, is it?
No, there are.
John's driving home. John's driving home right now. John's driving home, thinking like, "There's no quality Conan has that I want."
No.
But what I'm saying is, I do understand why everyone here is smitten with John.
It's the
Bernthal.
same thing with Goldblum. There's an otherworldly X factor. Like Bernthal's got old school Hollywood charisma.
Yes,
like
yes, he does.
Bogey, or even he reminds me of Fred Ward. Do you remember that actor that recently?
Reno Williams Strikes Again.
Actually, no, it's Remo Williams. The adventure continues.
Okay.
But let's just.
Oh my God! I almost took my own life right there.
Wow.
I think of him in The Right Stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Tremors. Yeah, Tremors. Yeah, great actor.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he has that kind of. He has that kind of energy.
But it's
and you also see it in Remo Williams' Here We Go.
Okay, it's not real. It's not real.
Wait,
it's not real. It's not even joke about. Don't even joke about.
No, what is it called?
It's called Remo Williams' The Adventure Continues.
I think that's what I said.
Oh, that's not what you said.
No. Well, anyway, he's in Tremors. He's in Right Stuff. And Remo Williams, One More Time Around.
Cast a deadly spell.
Okay, fine, but let's just go back a little and correct our errors here. Okay.
Remo Williams gets it done every time, and let's have fun.
Fun's fun. We're having fun.
Okay,
but let's take this seriously.
Okay.
I think what I thought was cool about him, I mean, a lot of the actors are like, oh, I had a theater background and I went to like school for it and stuff. But then he comes and he's like, oh, I got beat up by people. I got beat up. I fought a lot of people. Yeah. And that's just like, that's just cool.
Well, can I say something? And I want to just stress to our listeners, I don't think one should try to get beat up. I just don't. I think, and Sona's putting the message out there to a lot of impressionable young people listening.
It's cool to get just beat up. No, look, I didn't mean it like that.
No, but you know what I mean. You know that I've been in many a scrape in my day.
No, you haven't. You talk about the one fight you've been in.
No, I've been in countless. Because I can't remember them all. So many times I've woken up on a floor with glass in my ear.
No, that's a different.
It's the one where they smashed your nose. They smashed your nose in. That's the one fight you've been in. That's okay.
It wasn't even a fight. And it's going to turn out later on that I fell asleep in front of an Acer computer.
I remember one time you told us
and fell on the keyboard.
You got a big gash in your leg because
I was carrying trash.
And somebody put a tuna fish can in the.
My God.
Yes.
That doesn't count. You shouldn't even say that story.
You make me feel like John Bernthal.
I got punched once. One time, my mother said, you have to take out the trash. I was wearing shorts, and someone had put a tuna fish can in the trash bag, and it chunked. And it chunked up against my. I still have the scar there. I had appendicitis.
Oh my God.
And I had shingles in one eye. These are so. Don't tell me I haven't been in my share of scrapes in my time.
How do you not know the authentic title to Remo Williams?
Yeah. I've constantly been in the shit. Constantly been in the shit.
And shingles in one eye.
Yes, I did.
So you had shingle?
I had shingle in one eye. And tell me that wasn't the equivalent of being in a massive prison brawl. You know?
Oh, God.
I've gotten into it, and I'll get into it again.
God.
I'm a real brawler, a king mixer. Once you see these ham hocks coming your way, you best find cover. That's what I say.
Oh, man.
I'm getting the sign to rap before I
Nothing more
humiliate.
intimidating than a rhymer.
That guy just rhymed. We better get the fuck out of here. Hey, it worked for Ali. That's all they feared was his rhymes.
Oh, my God.
All right. Trust me, I'm an amazing brawler. Let's just leave it at that.
We were talking earlier about people you've met, and I know, Steve, that you got to meet or kind of meet Elvis.
I did. I've told the story a million times, so I don't know if it's worthwhile.
I just love it. So,
well, it was 1971, and I was opening for Anne Margaret at the Hilton in Las Vegas, which is no longer there for good reason. It's like
they tore it down the following day.
The worst comedy room.
Yeah,
like a ceiling that's like 80 feet high.
Yeah,
so the laughter rose above the audience's head about 2 feet and stopped. But anyway, and Elvis was opening the next weekend, and he knew Anne Margaret. So now it's after the show, and I know Elvis is going to come back and say hello to Anne Margaret. And so I leave my dressing room door open, and I did my act. It's 1971, so the act is not fully formed. You know, it's got a little weirdness to it. And so Elvis walked by and he saw me, and he stopped and he said, "Son, you have an oblique sense of humor." And then he came in, and now we're talking. I'm talking with him, and I know you don't know what to say. And my manager was there who knew all about Sun Records, so we could talk about that. And then there was a pause in the conversation. Oh, first of all, but this is the part I loved. Elvis has a guy who comes up to him to get him out of conversation. Says, "Elvis, I'm sorry, we have to go." And in this case, he comes up, "Sorry, we have to go." And Elvis said, "It's okay." I thought, oh, man, I've been blessed. So then we're talking. Then we run out of conversation. Then he said, "Want to see my guns?"
Jesus.
And we said, "Sure." And he was a gun. He liked artful guns, like an engraved thing. And he was very cautious. They were loaded. And so he took out a 6-shooter and he opened it up and dumped all the bullets in his hand. And before he handed me the gun to look at it, and I was looking at it, I'm marveling at it. Then he took out another gun, did the same thing, dumped out the bullets, handed it to me, and then he pulled out from his sock a Derringer.
Jesus.
And then opened that up, dumped out the bullets, handed it to me, and then I'm holding 3 guns and he's holding 16 bullets. And I'm thinking, where is Elvis's guy?
Yeah.
To get me out of this.
Why won't he do you remember what he was wearing?
Yes, all white. It was Elvis Slim, and he had the all white, and he wore that big buckle that the Hilton had given him to him for, biggest show ever in the history of the world.
Right.
But he was very sweet and very nice.
Yeah. And that comes across when you look at the documentaries.
That's a famous face, though, Elvis Presley.
Jesus. Well, also, the reason I wanted to, because I know that you met Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
And who's your absolute idol. But it was obviously one of those situations where because I remember you told me this once, you were at a bar. And
No, I was at George Slaughter's house.
Oh, George Slaughter's house. Okay.
It was after a Sinatra Shirley MacLaine concert at the Greek Theater. And we all went back to his house. And Dinah Shore was there. She was a big fan of SCTV.
Oh, great.
She's going on about it. And I'm thrilled to meet Dinah Shore. And she said, "Hey, do you want to meet Frank?" I said, Sure. And I went up to him. Now, this next part, Paul Schaefer maintains I've made up. Because he said he didn't speak like out of Guys and Dolls. And I said, well, he did, though. He said, I said, "Mr. Sinatra, Martin Short," and he said, "I know well of you and you're marvelous."
I know well of you.
I can believe that.
Yeah, I know well
That's
of
not Guys and Dolls.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, then he said, "Would you like a drink?" And I said, "Sure." He said, "What are you drinking?" I said, "Anything you're drinking, Frank." And so he turned to the bartender and said, "Jack Daniels." And I don't drink scotch, so the bartender said, "Straight up or on the rocks?" And I was nervous. I thought he said straight up or relaxed. And I said, "I'll have it relaxed." And Frank said, straight up or on the rocks. I'd known Frank 15 seconds and I'd pissed him off.
He starts,
Julie,
beat the crap out of this guy.
Are you a moron? So good Frank. Now, it was, when you meet those people, it is surreal. But, I used to have that with Mike Nichols, and I knew him for 20 years that I was still in awe. Like you talked about Carson, you're in awe of being in their presence.
This is someone you both have met a billion times, but Lorne once asked me to go to he said, would you like to go to a Yankee game with me? And I said, yeah, I'd love to do that. And there was a playoff game on the Red Sox. And so I get in the car and he says, we're picking up, I think he said we're picking up a friend. I didn't hear who he said we were picking up, but he puts, so I sat up front, so there was room in the back for Lorne and his friend. I sat up with the driver and we start driving up, and then we start to slow down, and there's someone leaning against a lamppost in like a very cinematic way. And we slow down and it's Jack Nicholson.
Wow.
Yeah, geez.
And Jack gets in the back seat, and Lauren goes, he's like, "How you doing, Lauren?" He says, "And this is Conan O'Brien, and he just said, "It's very nice." Just said, "Nice to see you." And I said, "Oh, so nice to see you, sir." And then we drive, we see the game, and my experience was, if you want to be anonymous, walk with Jack Nicholson. Because my life is, I'm 6'4", I have this pastry on my head. I am immediately, like me or dislike me, everybody knows it's me. And I walk down the street and everybody knows it's me. And suddenly nobody saw me.
Yeah.
Because I'm walking 3 feet behind Jack Nicholson.
Oh, absolutely.
But then the real treat of the night, so we chatted a little bit about a few things, but didn't talk much. He mostly spoke with Lorne, and then he drops me off at the end of the night, and I think, well, this has been great. And I get out of the car first because I'm just going to walk. We drop Jack Nicholson off, and he gets out of the car, and I just said, hey, it was a real honor to meet you, Jack. And he said, my boy is crazy about you. And I said, he said, I'll never forget. He said, my boy, we're standing there and Lorne's still in the car. And he goes, my boy's crazy about you. Every morning it's Conan this and Conan that. It's driving me fucking crazy. I had no idea that even I had any, but I just knew that I was an irritant in his life. And that made me very happy. Very happy indeed.
I'm just going back a minute because I kept remembering this great joke. And I think it was Shecky Green's joke about Frank. And it might have been Don Rickles, but I think it was Shecky Green. He said, and Frank's in the audience. He said, Frank saved my life one night. You know this joke?
No.
He says, Frank saved my life one night. I was in an alley and I was getting beat up by some guys. And Frank said, that's enough.
Yeah, that's so. And then there's the famous Rickles joke, which I'm sure is true, which is Rickles asking Frank. He's like, I'm dating this young girl. This young woman, it would really mean so much if you just came through the lobby and walked through the restaurant and said hello to me in front of her. That would really help me seal the deal. And so Frank Sinatra comes through and walks up to Rickles and his date and says, hey, Don, I just want to win. Hey, Frank, please. I'm eating. And Frank leaves the restaurant, and then about 30 seconds later, two guys come in and pick up Rickles, carry him out of the restaurant, and dump him in the fountain.
Is that last part true?
It was a fountain. It was a fountain of acid. That's the part that's less funny. Wow. Frank had it constructed.
They killed Don Rickles. Wow.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, he never lived past 1961.